Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, aka Jose, here with some of my closest friends, Pucho, Mateo, and Doe. How you guys doing? What's been going on with you, though, Doe?
Not much, man. It's finally the weather out here is finally getting a little bit nice, and when in New York, basically, especially post like after COVID and everything, people do not know how to act. It gets warm, and people just take all of their clothes off, like disproportionately. But it was really warm. It got up to like 65 the other day, and like everybody was outside, drunk people on the street. You can
Damn,
tell that people are like busting at the seams to go out and enjoy themselves because they haven't been able to.
that sounds fire.
Yes, it's wild. It's wild.
Are
I
are
mean,
the
that,
bars pretty busy up in New York right now?
No, there's still sort of like a curfew. They can't be open past 11. So like that's killing the vibe. Like
Mhm.
because usually they'd be open till 4 in the morning.
Oh shit, yeah, I
And
forgot about that.
yeah,
yeah.
so the party doesn't stop in New York because the clubs close at 4, bars closes at 4, and then there are like restaurants that are open. There was one by my apartment in the Bronx,
Mhm.
and after everybody was done in the clubs, they'd go to that restaurant and they'd be there from like 5 to 7 or 8, and then they'd finally go home after that.
And
But
they serve drinks there, or they're just getting food to sober up.
they have like champagne, they have wines. They don't really have like hard liquor, but you can buy a bottle of Moet and be in a little restaurant with a bottle of Moet.
Man, you can
Mo
you can get ripped on some champagne though, man.
Yes, yes, you can.
Champagne.
Oh my god, dude! One time, me, Tony, Lisi, my brothers, we went to this brunch place down a little down south. Oh my god, shit is expensive, dude. It was like 50. Is it maybe like $50 or something, just for like breakfast and then bottomless mimosas?
Oh shit.
Dude, it was a fucking disaster. So we're in this place. It's got to be like 8 or 9 a.m. like early as shit. And we're like we start drinking, right? They're going around. They're serving all these mimosas, and we're just drinking them. Me and Tony are just taking turns, blah 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 blah, like because we don't know how to act. As soon as somebody says something's infinite, we need to test the limits of how infinite something could be. So we just start drinking like fucking madmen.
That's how it is,
And
man.
then-
You gotta know like how far infinite goes.
There's degrees to infinity. Some infinities are greater than others. Some people don't know that. So we're just going ham. And next thing you know, the curtains start to drop down. So the fucking all the because this place is super well lit, the gigantic windows, dude. And so it's beautiful, nice and bright. And then out of nowhere, all these curtains just start to drop, and the whole room is now pitch black. And all these like fucking colorful lights turn on, and it out of nowhere it becomes a fucking nightclub. And they start blasting music, and everybody's drinking and dancing, and everybody's standing on the tables.
What
It's
time is-
fucking
what ti-
insanity? And then everybody, you're fucking getting crazy in this place. And then we were so fucking drunk, dude. It was insane. And then at the end, when we're just like, oh shit, we gotta go home, all this shit. You open the doors and it's like the fucking lights of heaven. Because it's like 10 a.m. It's like you don't even notice the time. Like just by killing them like bringing them curtains down, it just feels like fucking super late. That shit was a disaster. We fell asleep. I fucking slept till like 6 p.m. Like dude, I slept like a whole night and woke up, and this shit was fun.
Shit went from 0 to 100, right? But then it went from 100 to like 200 when this fucking robot show light up nigga came out. It was doom, 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 doom. I was like, yo, first off, everyone was sitting. There's like, crowded little lanes to get through. This fucking robot just fucking comes in, fucking working around the whole table. So I'm like, yo, how the fuck does he fit in here? It's like the dude's like 10 foot at least.
Yeah, he was on stilts, and he had on like all these plates like on his, and it was just all lit up, like all these fucking lights on it, and he was going fucking ham, like doing mad crazy dance moves on these stilts. That shit was very impressive, and it looked trippy because you're drunk, the room is pitch black, and all you see is his silhouette and like these fucking rainbow lights. It was insane.
What?
Yo, shout out to Salt 7. That place is called Salt 7. I think it's in Del Rey. That shit was fire.
Is this place still around? Because we need to go to this place next time I'm in Florida.
I don't know if brunches yet, but it's still there. Shit was lit. I remember that was so lit that he forgot that Lisi and forget.
I didn't forget, nigga.
Going up like a savage.
Yeah.
It was like over there, Lisi, bro. She literally had her head out the door. Just fucking. We took Uber because we knew we were getting drunk. No one was gonna drive. Bro, when we got back to his mom's crib, nigga, I had such a crazy headache that as soon as I closed my eyes, I felt like I was spinning so fucking fast. And then the moment I opened my eyes, the headache got increasingly intense. I was like, fuck, I'm fucked. I go to sleep, I'm spinning. I wake up, I'm dying. Like, it was bad. That shit was bad.
That shit was awesome. I would do it again. 10 out of 10 experience. The food was super bougie though, so it was like, it was pretty. It was good. I liked it, but I don't know. I'm a ghetto bastard, so I just like,
What about that chick that DK wanted you and Lisi, or wanted whoa, damn. There was something. It's almost like the fucking vacation for the Cozumel, where these.
You know what it is? It's Lisi, dude. You know how you attract attention? How when you walk into a room, some rando guy looks at you and they just want to say something funny. You got this face that invites nonsense. Lisi's the same way. Whenever we go somewhere and we have a lot of drinks and everybody's getting lit, somebody what was it? There was a girl dancing with Lisi, mad hard, and they were like, "I love your wife. I'll take her." Blah. Some chick. I was like, "Boy, no, I'm fucked out here." She gave Lisi like a shot. She bought Lisi a shot of Patron and all that shit.
Wild. Lisi brings that sexual energy. I bring in that nonsense energy. That's a fucking. I don't know. I guess. Hey, Lisi's a beautiful woman, so I guess all the girls want her. Or her milkshake brings all the girls to the yard.
And Tony's got a nonsense face.
Tony's got a nonsense face.
Come up to me and talk shit about something about sports or whatever. Like, shit is wild. So Mateo, what's been going on with your motorcycle?
Oh yeah, we're still doing intros. So I went and picked up my spaceman helmet that I sent y'all boys a picture of.
Yo, that thing is so awesome. I wish you'd put it on right now.
Oh, dude, Corey hates it. That's the entire reason I bought that thing, is because of how much Corey hated that bubble shield for it. But I love it. And I don't know, I'm probably a couple of weeks out from picking up my bike. I need to go and test drive, and I was going to do that this weekend, but it is just drizzling this entire weekend here in Austin, and I did not feel like test driving a bike in the rain. I've never ridden a bike in the rain, so like to take it a little bit slow, be as safe as possible while I'm trying to get adjusted to riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, for sure. You got to walk before you run.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question though.
Yes,
it's to Doughy, but it's in relation to this. Where do motorcycles rank in the hierarchy of cager to cagers at the bottom, right? They're bad. So the cagers up to, I guess, the supreme beings, which are these bike riders, cyclists.
I've got a follow-up question to this. Where do pedestrians rank in this as well?
That's a good question.
Yeah, no, it is an extremely good question. So right now, like the relations between bikers and pedestrians, pretty good. To be, let's just be honest. We're pretty good. We strive in unison. When there's a pedestrian walkway going somewhere where cars can't go, usually there's a bike walkway right next to it. So for the most part, we know how to cooperate with each other.
What happens whenever a pedestrian is walking down the bike walkway?
You have to get their attention somehow. When I'm in the streets, a year, that works to get people.
So who has the right of way?
Usually the pedestrians, but if you have the green light and you're moving in the direction of traffic, then you have the right of the way. You know what I mean? Just works just like cars. because in some parts of New York, there's no bike lane, so you have to ride with the cars.
Huh. No bike lanes, huh?
This fucking Tony's Utopia. He wants no fucking bike lane.
So if there's no bike lanes, the cars have the right of way, correct?
You're treating yourself as a vehicle. So yeah, you have to not be, you know what I mean? You have to be behind the car, you know what I mean? But if I'm skinny enough to fit in a narrow, I'll just go in front of the car next to me. If
No,
there's
that's
in the
not you being
stoplight,
that's not you being a car. That's you being a disrespectful bike rider.
No, he said a
I
vehicle,
mean-
not a car.
Oh, vehicle. Yeah, my bad.
yeah.
No, if you don't have a bike lane, you're a vehicle now, or you got to act like a vehicle. Don't be screwing in between. Don't be screwing in
New York
between
is the law.
cars.
So that
Not
is
doing-
so even for motorcycles, that's legal. The lane splitting is legal for motorcycles as well.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was illegal. I didn't know that was legal. I thought that was just them being like, "Fuck it, my shit fits. I'm going in."
No, it's legal. A lot of my motorcycle buddies swear that it helps the flow of traffic too, because the motorcycles accelerate faster, so they can get, to the front. They can zoom, and they don't have to worry about being stuck between a bunch of cars while they're trying to ride. Because I mean, the big thing with like the class was like, pretend or imagine that no one on the road is actually able to see you. That's how you should always approach riding a motorcycle.
That's the most important thing, to ride in a manner that is so either A, aggressive, or B, defensive, that you are always looking out for yourself and you're always treating other cars like they do not see you.
Yep.
Or they're gonna hit you. You got to treat it always in that manner.
So where do the motorcycles rank though?
Oh, the motorcycles rank as bikes. Like they're just bikes with motors on them. So we pretty much no beef, and
No
especially
beef.
no
That's so
beef
fascinating.
at all whatsoever.
So you guys aren't upset about the motor, nor are you guys upset about like the harm to like the climate or anything like that. It's purely whether you have some type of enclosure surrounding.
It's something about being
mode of
outside,
transportation.
your body being the chassis. You know what I mean? Of the
You guys are
vehicle.
both equally vulnerable to trucks and cars, so you guys bond over that weakness.
Yes, basically, yeah. It has a lot to do with that, and also the two wheel. You know what I
And the
mean?
two wheels. So you guys are
micromobility
not
is-
down like the West Coast gangbangers. They be on the three wheelers.
But wait,
Wait.
Hold on. But here's the other thing: we don't like scooter bros.
What?
Yeah, we don't like scooter bros. I've seen a lot of hate in the bike Reddits for scooter bros, but I think it's beautiful. I think
Like
micro mobility.
pasolas?
No,
Like a pasola?
no, like a
Looks like a
scooter,
Like a
scooter
Vespa?
with the- No,
Oh, yeah.
no, the scooter.
Oh,
with
the one that you actually like scoot your
yeah,
feet and
electric. There's like a wave
Oh.
in New York of electric scooter, and a lot of people call them scooter bros.
Like a GoPed? What is it? GoPed or moped?
they're electric scooters. They're like
no.
a Lime
it's
was
like-
Lime was one of the big companies.
Exactly. It's like a you remember the Razor scooters, but the Razor
Yeah.
scooters are just fancier.
Yeah.
Segway makes a lot of them now. There's like a huge market here, and it's
So
called
what's the hate?
just that they're taking. I've seen a lot of like. I think I'm gonna be honest.
Wow. So there's a hierarchy now.
Wait, hold on.
Yes, the
What did
biking elites, but the biking elites feel, and I don't have this. I don't have
what
the
do they
same
feel?
sentiment.
What do they
The
feel?
biking elites feel like those biking lanes are made for bikers, and now you have scooter bros and you have all these other people coming onto it, which I am the only way that I agree is when you start to see the big mopeds, the Vespas, and the actual big Johns on there. That this
I just want to
roadway was not made. This roadway was not created for that.
too bad.
For mopeds. But I like scooter bros. I like skateboard guys. All them people are cool as hell.
Fucking bad. You don't like them in your way, huh? We don't like y'all in our way.
I never said that, but
Shit.
there's a sentiment. There's a
That's
sentiment
funny.
when you go into these Reddit forums and you start to see like some of these bikers, they don't even like me because they hate e-bikes. All of these regular biker people they don't like e-bikes.
Huh.
They think that shit is like poison. Which
You know what the problem is? This is the problem. They want to hate on things that, oh, they're these scooter bros and the e-bikes are in our way. Word, bro. What do you think the cagers think? What do we think? What do you think we think when we see you fucks in the middle of the way? Same shit. You can't be mad at somebody else and then you do it. The same thing you're mad about. Fucking hypocrite.
Tony, that is a good point.
Go for the scooter bros and the fucking e-bike niggas.
yeah, I
Fuck.
love
So,
micro mobility is cool though.
They're elites. That's what I'm saying.
so Tony, that is a good point. As a counterpoint, what you been up to, Pucho?
That's a good counterpoint.
Counter. Get me started.
I've been doing a lot of housework lately. Friday, I busted my. No, sorry, I didn't bust my ass like I fell. I just did a lot of shit. I worked my ass off. So I was dead tired, which meant that yesterday I just sat on my recliner, sunrise to sunset, and then I said, "What the fuck did I do?" Friday was my day off, and I was like, "Yo, let me clean the gutters out," because my fucking gutters, they get filled with leaves and shit. So I started cleaning all that shit out, and then I look in my yard and I notice there's all these fucking leaves, and then I'm like, oh man. So then I don't got a leaf blower, right? So I used my vacuum cleaner, but like I used the exhaust to like try to blow the leaves. But I'm hauling the shop vac around my yard, and I look like a fucking ghostbuster. I'm fucking just like shooting all these fucking leaves and shit. Shit took me hours, and then I still had to go in the backyard and get on the roof to go clean the gutters out in the back. Cause I bought a vacuum I bought like an attachment that's almost like a hook, so I could just sort of vacuum out the gutters like that. But on the backside, I have a pool enclosure, so I have to like climb on the roof and like fucking dig out all these fucking leaves. So it's a pain in the ass. Then I got so mad that I went to Lowe's and I fucking bought a leaf blower.
I was gonna say
now I got a real leaf blower. The shit's fire.
That's awesome.
I was gonna say spending 3 hours shop vacuuming leaves off of your lawn, that'll make you buy a leaf blower.
Yeah, I literally was like, man, fuck this shit. Yeah, and I got a hitch installed on my SUV so I could start hauling shit around too.
Nice.
And, that was literally what I did on Friday. I got up, took my SUV to U-Haul, and then went home, did a bunch of yard work. Took a shower. We picked up my fucking car, and that was my whole day. The show was miserable. But yeah,
it's productive.
I got shit.
That's dope, man. Becoming more of a father every damn day. Got a hitch now and shit. Niggas gonna start.
Cop the crib. Now I gotta do shit.
So what?
I love them apartment days. I ain't do shit.
So what have you been up to, Tony? No one ever asked you on this podcast. You notice that?
I was just thinking that. I was gonna ask him, so you stole it.
You're the first person out there. I always had it in the back of my mind. Maybe one episode, these guys are going to ask me what the fuck I'm doing with my life. But no, thank you, Mateo. Nah, yeah, man. Just getting ready for this baby shower coming up. It's a lot of planning. I kind of don't hate it at the same time. It's like, got to get alcohol. Because it's a Spanish baby shower. It's not a typical American baby shower where it's only females. You know, Spanish people go an extra mile when it comes to baby showers. It's like an excuse to get drunk. So yeah, I'm just getting alcohol, trying to find food and stuff. Like my dad's making something, a couple friends or whatever. So going through that and just being ready to be a dad.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot, dude.
Shit is stressful.
Sounds mad stressful, dude.
You're gonna realize, dude. Once you gotta like start figuring out solutions to all types of problems because you have a kid, you're really gonna realize that like your parents, your whole life were just people, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing either, and you're just making shit up along the way. And I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Like when you're a kid growing up, you look at your parents, you look at them like they've got it all figured out, they know all the answers, like all that shit. And then when you get older. And then I feel like even doubly so once I had my own kid. But you realize that, they're just people just trying shit to see what the fuck works. I don't know. Something about that is just really, it feels weird.
By my age, my parents had 4 kids.
That's nuts.
And I don't. Yeah, like it breaks my brain. I'm like, I don't think that I'm quite mentally ready for a kid. And they had 4 damn kids. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot to handle.
Hey,
That's
so you're having a boy, right?
yes. I am blessed with a healthy baby boy.
So are you going to have like a rage aneurysm when he asks you to teach him how to ride a bike? You're gonna be
No.
like, no, there's no bikes in this house. This is a cager family.
Buys him
No.
a fucking car.
A car.
Fucking
We
only
burn
9-year-old with a
oil
car.
in this house.
Yeah, we
We're
nah,
fucking
I'm gonna
oil
definitely
burners.
try to fucking ride a bike, man. Cause that's how I would, I rode a bike too, like a BMX style bike, none
Oh,
of
on
those
on the streets?
like regular bikes.
You rode that on the
Yeah,
streets?
a BMX bike. Yeah, streets, sidewalks, anywhere I went. You know what I'm
Oh,
What
saying?
what makes BMX bikes so much different than all those other bikes?
Well, first off, BMXing is a sport, right? We just, you know what I mean? We do tricks,
How
flips,
is
dips.
how is bicycles not a sport?
No,
Cycling?
that is, cycling is a sport. Then I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying what like people who did BMXing, they didn't drive on the street necessarily. They did sidewalks on rails and shit. Like
Your
regular.
argument is all over the place.
What do you think the
It's
X,
horrible.
what do you think the X stands for?
No, you tell me. I don't know.
Extreme.
Ew, what the fuck was that?
Yo, hey, Mateo, make sure what time was that? Fucking yo, that shit has to be chopped. That is disturbing. And yes, by the way, I am gonna teach him how to ride a bike. And if he wants to continue to ride a bike, I'm gonna make sure to tell him don't go on the street like these dicks. Stay in the bike lane and on the sidewalk. That's it.
What
We
if
ain't
the law is to ride on the street though? Oh, but you know what? In New York, I think there is a law like if you're 11 years old or younger or 12, you can ride on the sidewalk.
interesting.
Yes, I think the big difference between riding like a kid versus like people trying to literally have to do transportation is one set of people, they're just sort of riding around. They don't know what the fuck's going on, kind of slow, meandering around. Meanwhile, all y'all motherfuckers, y'all riding like, y'all trying to fly 20, 30 miles an hour. Like you clip somebody at those speeds, y'all both getting fucked up. Like
Mhm.
is I don't know.
I have. I crashed into somebody a few months back.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Kind of sucked. Yeah, it was
But the
their
bike-
fault, and well, like something like the display fell off, like because his body, but I felt really bad. It was their fault, even though if I would have been going slower, maybe I could have stopped as well.
Mhm.
But he's right. We're all trying to everyone is trying to get to where they're going as fast as possible in New York. So, but that's also why you got to ride defensively and like try to. I'm getting better at swerving out of the way. I just hope I don't swerve into a car one day like that's next to me, but I can get out of the way. You just got to make sure when you're getting out of the way, there's nothing there.
Mhm.
But yeah, that sucked. I was in pain.
If you do hit a car, are you gonna just take off, or are you gonna be there to get the report so he can get his car fixed because of the damages and scratches? Like, how do bikers do that? Do they just be like hit the car and be like, "Oh fuck it, he ain't gonna catch me because I'm on the bike"?
I
Like, how do you
mean,
guys?
I haven't gotten into that situation yet, so I don't know really how to react about that. When I hit the pedestrian, I'm pretty sure he was hurting afterwards, like because I came at him pretty fast and pretty hard, and he took the brunt of the impact. And but we shook it off. He asked me if I was all right. I asked him if he was okay, and we kept it moving.
I thought you were about to incriminate yourself. I thought you were about to say you hit that man and just kept going. I was gonna be like, this is
No.
recorded, by the way, but
No. I'm not that type of person. I'm not.
Cut the fucking recording.
No, I never. No, I wouldn't do that.
good.
But like I said, it all depends. If the car clearly saw me and he was being a dick, and that's why we got into the accident. If I can ride away, I'm gonna ride away. Like if as long as I can, you know what I mean. But if a car like runs my bike over and I have no source of transportation, I'm calling the police. I'm getting a police report.
Yeah.
That-
Only when it affects the bikers. Want to stop?
I don't know, man. I think everyone is different. But I don't know. And especially, I would say, like, the case, if it was my fault, then I would man up and be like, yeah, if I have to pay, you know what I mean, for somebody's dent or whatever, whatever.
I mean, you run into the same thing with cars too. Like, I've seen people backing up in the parking lot and they bump another car, and they just take off, and that's
Facts.
a real shitty thing to do. Like, but people do it. People do it every day. Shit, I've got 3 bumps on my car. I've got 3 dings on my car right now that I don't know where they came from. They obviously came from someone like hitting my car with a shopping cart or backing into it and bumping it or something.
Do you guys take your shopping carts back to to the cart corral?
Always, 100% of the time.
They say it says a lot about a person by just that.
Mm-hmm.
Not
I
always.
agree.
Like if it's close, I'll go and do it. If it's like a little distance, I'll try to push the cart to see if I can make it in there. And if I don't, I'll go and grab it and put it in there. But if it's far, I'm gonna pop that bitch right on the little median thing in between the cars, and that's it. I'm on my way.
There's this YouTuber, the YouTube page called Cart Narcs.
I will fight that motherfucker. If I see him, I would not take that shit to the car corral just to fight him. Because I don't know who he's running into, but he don't want to run into me. I seen that shit. That shit pissed me off. He got to mind his own motherfucking business. He ain't got no right.
I guess I'm gonna have to go check out this YouTube. I've never seen this.
He be harassing people, yo. He'll stalk somebody just to see if they'll take it back to the fucking cart corral.
Basically shames you.
And then when they don't, he'll be like, "You're not gonna take it." He's not taking the cart, and he's just recording you. And then as soon as you get in the car, he'll put the cart like behind your car or in front of your car, so you have to now get out and move the cart. And I've seen like clips where like someone will get out of the car and move the cart like 5 times in a row just to like try to leave, and he'll just keep like harassing them. First off, I think this shit might be illegal.
Yeah,
like,
I
this
think
shit like
he stopped doing that. He's
Right.
stopped doing that completely.
Yeah, that shit got to be illegal. But secondly, the amount of effort that these people are doing in just sort of getting out, nudging the cart, and getting back in repeatedly instead of just taking it back is like they would have been done with it. And then he'll just keep doing it until they take it back anyways. I'm saying I would get out the car and I would hit him.
That's a lot of effort to put into that shit.
So one of the most meaningless things in the fucking world is taking a car back.
Yeah.
Shit.
So what he does now is he has magnetic strips, little bumper stickers that say "I'm a jerk and I don't return my car to this cart corral," and he'll put it on your car. That's what he does now.
I'm not gonna lie. I would actually kind of want to rock one of those just for funsies.
You know what'd be funny too? Like if he were to do that to me, I would be like, you know what? Cool. I'm gonna drive off, turn around, see what car he goes into.
You're gonna go put it
Follow
on it.
his ass home.
Oh,
And I'm gonna lift his shit up and leave his shit on bricks, nigga. I'm gonna leave that shit on bricks. And I'm gonna go down the road and then I'm gonna put all the cart bumper shit he wants to put on my car. I'm gonna put it all on his car. Be like, yeah, go fuck your bumper cart shit, bitch.
Tony, I'm gonna remind you as well that we are recording this. This is gonna go out onto the internet.
Nah, that's just beast, man. People ask to get their ass whooped. Like, who the fuck is you, nigga? Go work for Walmart or something then if you want to be the cart guy. Like, fuck out of here. You're wasting my time with this bullshit. And you're recording without my permission. I'll fuck you up.
Yeah,
So-
he goes all around America. So he was recently in Hialeah, Florida. So you might see him.
So
I'll fight him. Yeah,
So-
because like this is my thing though. You never know the situation somebody's going through, right? Like somebody could have just got the call, like, "Yo, your wife's in labor," and he got to run to the hospital, and whatever. Maybe it only take an extra 10 seconds to run to the car corral, but he's running. Or what if his kid got hurt? Any number of things. And then you got some motherfucker. You got somebody who's gonna come and try to obstruct you from leaving. That's fucking ridiculous. He needs to get slapped so he could learn a lesson. That's all I'm saying. I don't like that shit. I don't like pranking ass motherfuckers. I don't like pranks. I
like pranks, but not like that.
I don't like. I see all these videos of people pranking people. I'm like, damn, yo. I just pray that I'm not the guy who's getting pranked one day because I think I'll make the wrong choices.
a lot of those pranking videos though are not actually pranks. It's just people being dicks. It's like I appreciate a good prank as much as anybody. I've got tons of pranking stories, but those people are mostly just being dicks.
You know, I like a good someone sits in the chair and there was a whoopee cushion. You know, that's a fucking prank.
That's a classic.
You know
one.
what I'm saying?
There's the have you guys
Wetting
seen,
people, squirting people with shit, hitting someone with food by accident, and then they're like, "Oh!" Just I see all these fucking videos online. I'm like, dude,
I would
God
definitely
forbid I'm in this situation.
whipped cream in Pucho's hand and feather his nose the way he smacks his fucking face. The whipped cream.
there's this Canadian show that some of the clips have ended up on Facebook. It's a very innocent prank show, and they do stuff like that. Like they set up scenes at the mall. One of them was this black guy. He had sunglasses on. He was a really good looking guy, and he was sitting down at the table eating ice cream, but like very intimately. And then he would like stare. He took his glasses off. He would stare at the women and like eat it intimately, and a lot of women would be like, yo, and with their friends, and they'd be like, yo, look at this. And then like the prank is that he put the glasses back on and he'd whip out the like blind stick cane. He's kinda
I think I've seen that. Shit.
yeah, it was on Facebook.
That's beast.
See, Tony, this is why we don't ask you how you're doing, though. You see this whole tangent that you caused?
My bad, yo. But I do want to talk about Wanda in this final episode.
Okay.
Let me
Did
tell
everybody
you,
watch it?
I watched it.
I heard Pucho had some thoughts about this episode.
Let's start with Tony, because Tony sounded like he was gonna go somewhere before I cut him off.
Yeah. I do like, and spoiler alert if no one's watched it yet. I do like the fighting scene between White Vision, Red Vision fighting, and Deacon, the two witches. I still don't think she's a witch. I know the other bitch is a witch, but I don't think she's a witch. I don't know. I don't know why they keep saying that throughout the show, but that shit was badass.
Who's not a witch?
Wanda?
Fucking Wanda. She's not
Wanda's
a witch.
not a witch?
Her superhero name is literally the Scarlet Witch, though.
Yeah, but that other bitch is a witch. I forget her name.
Agatha.
Agatha. Yeah, she's definitely. I could see she got a book spell and everything. She's a witch. But Wanda doesn't really she doesn't do spells.
Did you see the after credit scene? One of the two?
I did not.
Whoa, yeah. There's one where she's like off in the woods, like in a retreat, like after she fled town, and she's doing the Doctor Strange thing where she's astral projecting and like reading the book and like learning spells and learning about her actual magic while she's like making herself a cup of tea and like chilling and enjoying the mountains.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the credits. I never watched any of the credits. I didn't see.
Yeah, there for that last episode. There's two after credit scenes.
What's the second after credit scene?
The second one is Monica goes and she talks to what are they? Scree, the Kroll? What are they, Pucho?
I think it's the scroll. Yeah.
Didn't see that one.
Yeah,
she talks to the. Go ahead.
Yeah, she goes and talks to him, and they're like, "Yeah, we heard you were grounded. They want to meet with you." And she's like, "Where?" And she's like, "Up there." So like that's gonna play into Captain Marvel 2, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's Nick Fury because Nick Fury's doing some kind of weird space shit or something right now, right?
I don't know what he's up to.
Yeah.
Last thing I remembered is he got snapped. He got vanished.
Yeah, I was trying to
I don't even remember him in the second Infinity in the Endgame. I don't remember him being there.
There's one where he's like at like it looks like he's at a beach retreat, but then he like stands up and he's like in some like kind of like futuristic VR room or something. But I don't remember where that one takes place in the rest of the movies.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
But I also thought it was cool too that I thought her brother was gone, right? But nigga's in the attic. Like I was like, oh shit, so he's been trapped. Like this is like a lot of because I just thought he just got off the show that he was done with, but nah, he's there freaking fighting Monica. I was like, damn.
Oh, to the fight scene though. Man, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed the way that the Vision fight ended though. I think that Vision having a logic battle with the other Vision is the most appropriate way for Vision to defeat Vision. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's the only way that makes sense because Vision's not like he's not like a punchy. He's not like the Hulk where it's like Hulk smash and that's how he wins fights. He just smashes better than the other dude. Vision can kick some ass, but he's also just he's a big old nerd. He's made out of Jarvis and Ultron and the Mind Stone and whatever the fuck else. So like him just having a logic battle was really fitting. I really enjoyed that. I got like Steven Universe vibes. You guys have ever seen Steven Universe?
I haven't watched it, but it seems like something that I'd like, and it seems right up Doughy's alley. Actually,
It's
Doughy
good.
likes all them cartoons.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, it reminds. Well, it's like some mix between like Chowder and like Adventure Time or something like.
Yeah, it's
I don't know. People really like it.
dude, it's
Yeah.
it's amazing. The entire show is about like acceptance and like love being love, and like man, people were real salty about this because there were like implied same sex relationships, and like non-binary people appeared on the show, and like there were like big punchy battles, but most of the time the way that they defeated like the big bad for the season was they just talked it out, and they just talked about
That's
their
awesome.
feelings, and then it's like boom, and that's then how there's a happy resolution for everyone. And yeah, that Vision fight gave me big Steven Universe vibes as far as like the way they approach that.
It's fire. What about you, Pooch?
I hated the last episode so much. I hated it so much.
Why did you hate it?
Because they did the thing that I'm always so upset that Marvel does, where they build up stuff that could be so cool, and then they just take it in a different direction, where it's just like, oh, nothing really mattered, nothing is really coming out of this, and we only did it for the hype, but it has no meaning. So like the Quicksilver thing. Like, which who knows if they really want to like really go left with it still, but what they basically said is like, nah, he's just a random kid who lived in the neighborhood pretty much,
And he just
like
happens
that.
to look like this dude from the X-Men series that Sony owned.
Exactly, 100%, and that was it. Like, so it was just in there as an Easter egg and nothing more. All the like potentials for like making mutants and stuff like that, where I was like, oh, hopefully they're gonna try to do like a House of M or an X-Men kind of crossover or something like that. It's just like, nah. Pretty much Monica seems to be the only person, unless again they're gonna shoehorn that this occurred, which they could, of course,
Yep.
but it didn't happen in the show. Basically, Monica became a mutant of some sort, and that's about it. So that didn't happen. They didn't even delve into like parallel. They didn't even like delve into like parallel universes or like the multiverse and stuff like that. So it's just like pretty much every single thing that I was like looking forward to, like the potentials of, they just said no on everything.
Well, they've got
So
to like balance the like the mass appeal, right? Like
yeah.
because it's entirely possible there's people that are just watching Wanda as a one-off, right? I don't think there's a lot of them, but there's probably some people that are just watching Wanda and they're like, oh, WandaVision, I'll watch that. I never watched any of the Marvel movies, but I'll watch that.
That was
And-
me.
And they got to keep it self-contained. Like it's got to be like a little bubble of a story, and it's also it'll fit into the bigger plan, but it's a little self-contained story.
Yeah, no. I could totally understand why they made the decision that they made, because making decisions for normies are the best things you could do, because it'll have the biggest appeal. Like, right, is that you appeal to the majority of your fan base if they're, you want to make your stuff as accessible as possible and all that type of stuff, then you're gonna go for a less comic book like story.
Yeah.
And like we said, like once we started talking about episode 1, episode 2, and I started saying all this shit, you basically said it. You're like, yeah, those ideas might be too much in like a comic book world. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I do that, and then I get disappointed. It's exactly what happened. So I remember just sitting there watching the episode, and I was just like, man, like, I can't believe they're throwing everything away. Like,
Lacey was salty too, right?
she disliked it for different reasons. She just thought, I don't know, yeah. Maybe one of these days she'll hop on here and talk about it, but I think she just mainly just found it like a little boring, and the fact that like, oh, nothing really mattered. So
Lacey on here, she would take over.
yeah, it would be. You can't give her that level of power.
It would just become the Lacey cast. Like she'd whip out some new logos for us that are just Lacey cast. She's like, yeah, that One Up podcast, that was a good run, but
Yeah, she'll one up. What about you, though? How'd you feel about the last episode?
I half liked it and half hated it. I liked certain parts of it that I thought were cool. Like the struggle, like when Agatha like released everybody's mind and everybody started looking at her. I thought that scene was pretty cool. And then she like tried to regain their mind, started choking everybody out, and I was like, yo, that was beast, and that was like really cool. The Vision fight was okay. I would just thought it was kind of weird how Vision was like, I am Vision, and then dipped out. This was out. I am Vision. Just like dipped out. I thought it was something. I thought that was super fucking beast. Yo, she put her kids to bed the same way the mother put the kids to bed in the Titanic. She's like, yo, you're gonna die in a few minutes. Let's go to sleep, little kids. So I thought that was like super duper weird, but I feel like once again they have to tie it up. So they tied it up super neatly. I didn't like the end of the fight where she's like, I had runes set up this entire time. I'm like, you just learned about these runes last episode. Like, and now there's runes all over this hex.
She's got power over the Sorcerer Supreme, dude.
I just felt like it was so convenient. Like, I was like, okay, I realized, I guess, because for me, I wanted more, and I was like, okay, what's the cliffhanger for this episode?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, no, we're just gonna tie things up as neatly as possible, and we're gonna get the fuck up out of here. And that's basically what happened. And so I guess I was sad to see it go. I'm sad to see Kat Dennings go. You know, because she played such an important role in that episode. Mashed, bam, just ran into the guy.
They gave that girl 4 lines in the last episode.
I know.
I suspect that has to do with COVID. I would assume that has to do something with like the production and COVID, because I can't believe they didn't give her more than 4 words to say in that final episode.
I'm glad I got to see her one last time. Got to see her away.
She's alive.
Apparently, of course she's alive, but they didn't even show her at the end. They were like, oh yeah, she doesn't stick around for debriefings. I was like, huh? That kind of doesn't make sense.
I didn't even notice that. You were really concerned about this character.
Yeah, she said the briefings are for the weak.
For the week, apparently, yeah. But I thought the way that they show Monica gets her powers by like getting shot, that was a little cheesy too. But I was like, okay, whatever. They want to show what kind of powers she has, and I guess she's gonna be super strong if you can shoot her and she doesn't die. You know what I mean?
Well,
she's like, there's.
Yeah, she can turn. Apparently, she can turn kinetic energy and absorb it and redirect it and shit like that. So that was what she was doing with the bullets, I think, is the.
But I thought the scene with her and the children was pretty cool.
Man,
I thought that was cool.
How fucked up is it that what's his name, Haywood, whatever his name is, shows up and immediately starts shooting at those kids, like. He doesn't say freeze. He doesn't say. He just jumps out with his gun and starts shooting at the children.
He knows they got superpowers, man. He knows what needs to be done, right?
The Michael Jordan meme. Fuck them kids. Like, came out like that.
Nah, but yeah, the episode was okay though. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my favorite episode. But I did like the fighting scenes and all that. And then also I was confused at I think it was in the middle, where they had Ag on the tree tied up and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, the Agatha.
Agatha had her tied up on.
Oh yeah, like
they switched places.
Yeah, it was fucking weird. I was just like, yo.
I thought that was weird too. I was like, huh?
I think it's interesting that that's the second time that they've shown zombies in the Marvel universe. Because they showed him in Spider-Man Far From Home. He has like the hallucination that Mysterio's causing, and there's zombies in that one too. Because I would love for them to actually do the Marvel Zombies like comic series as some kind of like a what if or like an alternate universe kind of thing. Because that Marvel Zombies is crazy stuff.
I've never read it.
Have you? You should check them out. They're interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be too much of a deep hole to go into. Like,
well, I saw that one of the things that's coming out is a series that they're calling What If.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm most hyped about because
Mhm.
that's my favorite type of comic book is just what if stories. Yeah, they announced I think it was like 6 or 7. Like they're gonna just be releasing these one-off like little movies that are just gonna be like, yo, what if this was the case? What if Spider-Man was evil? Like boom,
Mhm.
like as an example, or right, shit like that. That sounds fire.
That's very cool.
And if I recall correctly, or maybe I'm mixing this up with the Star Wars announcements, but I remember them saying something about like some would be like live action, some would be animated, so it was just gonna be like all over the place.
I think you're right. I think I remember that. So I liked the episode, but I liked it for some specific reasons. So what I've been wanting Marvel to do for the longest time is they've built this big, huge superhero world, right? And I've been wanting them to tell some stories that aren't just superhero stories in that environment. Because I think, man, I was so hyped for that X-Men movie that was coming out, the New Mutants, because it looked like it was going to be a straight up like horror movie. That also had some people with superpowers, but mostly like just a straight up like scary movie. And I thought that's cool. Like that's the kind of shit that I want to see. I want to see like a space movie and like like that's the reason I love the first Captain America movie because it was like a wartime thriller movie that also happened to have a super powered dude in it, but it was mostly like a war movie, and I thought that was cool as hell. And this one's like a love story. This one is it's an exploration of love and grief, and it just happens to be set in a superhero world. And sure, she's got some superpowers, and that's what has led to the entire situation. But I mean, the entire story is just about her love and her grief for Vision and her brother and her family, and just it's almost like her dealing with the PTSD from like all these various traumatic events that
Yeah.
she's just had piled onto her. So I liked it
I
from
think you made a,
I liked it from
that's
that
a
point
good
of view.
point.
Yeah.
I like that they told a somewhat original story. It wasn't the same like Marvel cookie cutter movie that we get every year, which I enjoy the shit out of. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the popcorny, the like eat popcorn in the movie theater and watch some Marvel special effects for an hour and a half movies. But I thought it was cool to get something kind of a new spin on some property.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's really cool. I would like them to explore more unique stories like that. Like as an example, I think was it like Winter Soldier? They had like the maybe I don't know if it was Winter Soldier or not, but the villain of that movie, it was like just somebody's like he's just pissed because his wife got killed in
Hmm.
the Avengers 2, right?
Yeah,
Like there could be a whole movie in like that takes place like during that time period where Ultron's like just fucking up the what is it, Sokovia,
see,
and buildings are falling down and maybe they got to fight a couple robots, but it's just a story about a couple humans caught in this big bullshit and they're just trying to get out. Like that'd be a cool movie. Like and
mhm.
it don't and it's just a movie set inside the comic book world that doesn't deal directly with the characters that have superpowers. Like I don't know, and that's the cool shit. Like comic books, they be exploring stories like that often. So I don't know.
Yeah, there
I,
was a
I was very excited for this show because of things like that. So.
wasn't there an entire series? What's the guy's name? Dave from Hydra or something like that, or there's some comic miniseries that it's just about some random dude that's in Hydra, and just like him surviving all these like dangerous missions or some shit like that. They made a reference to it in like Deadpool 2. Like there's a guy that he doesn't kill in the big final battle scene, and he calls him by name and he just knocks him out because like Deadpool and that dude in the comics were buddies. Like but I don't know, man. I'd love to see something just completely stupid. Like, give me a Marvel just straight comedy movie, and it's about like an insurance adjuster that has to deal with like selling insurance to people in this world that almost ends or does end every year and a half or
I
so.
would love that. What I would really like is like the Batman one where you're poor, so you're trying to make money by like doing bad stuff. You get fucked up by Batman one night, like you get caught doing some shit, you get fucked up by Batman. Now, all your bones are broken, so you're addicted to painkillers.
Oh,
The next week, you cop some drugs. Batman comes again to kick your ass. Some innocent poor man who just keeps getting his ass kicked by fucking Batman.
How do you buy? How do you go out and buy illegal drugs with all of your bones being broken a week ago?
I'm just saying, like, I'm
Fucking
just saying.
got the medicine. It's you get fucked up. It's a horrible town, but fucking healthcare is on point.
Man,
Better than America.
you know, I rewatched some of the Batman movies recently, like the Christopher Nolan ones, and those movies are still very confusing to me because in the very first movie, Gotham is a shithole. Gotham looks terrible, and then in the third movie, it's just like this sprawling like metropolis. It's like it just looks like a normal fucking city, but that place looked like a shithole. There were like every street had trash can fires, and the train looked like it had been like gone through hell. Like it looked like the spaceship in Event Horizon after they went through the hell portal. It just looked like shit, and then. Yeah, I don't know. I got some continuity issues with that.
In Batman Begins, Gotham looked like Gotham, and then in Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, the shit looks like Metropolis.
Yep.
Like it's all bright. It looks like a beautiful city. I don't know. It is a little bizarre. You ain't wrong. The shit looked like New York City in the fucking 70s and 80s. Like graffiti everywhere, trash cans, all types of fucked up shit.
Yeah, it looked like that movie Escape from New York. Like that's what the first fucking
it was
Batman
all
movie.
hazy and foggy. You look like you could get mugged on every single corner of this shit.
I don't think there's a single scene in that first movie that takes place during the daytime. Gotham City is just perpetually in darkness.
Yeah.
That's how it was back in the day in like the old school comics. It was the idea was like Gotham City and Metropolis were the same city, and it was just like Gotham is just Metropolis by night, and Metropolis is just Gotham by day. And so Batman is the dude who takes care of the city at night, and Superman takes care of it in the day. And it was, that was like one of the original like. The ways that I don't even remember who wrote those stories.
I don't either, but I remember that being something. There's something about that.
I don't remember any of that. Well, I didn't read too much of the comics either. So I mean,
yeah, no. This isn't me. I've never been a big reader of either of those comics. I'm a Marvel kid, so I never grew up reading DC. I remember the first time I bought a DC comic. I was in the 3rd grade. There was a Scholastic book fair. And there was a comic book there that just said "The Death of Superman." I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and I saw like a fucking stick with his cape, and it was all ripped up. And I said, I gotta buy this shit. And then I bought it, and it was the story where Doomsday kills Superman, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. It was one of the worst and best days of my life. I was like, yo, Superman died, yo.
And then
Then
there's like 4 Supermen after that, right?
Yeah, I literally started reading Superman because of that one comic. And I read it for a little while.
I think where that original theory comes from, there was a Superman cross Batman show. If I'm not correct, these niggas was in the same show together, just them. If I'm not correct, there was some sort of show like that. Also, God bless the Scholastic motherfucking fair. All right, it's still probably the only reason I ever read books in school. And then somebody got the bright idea in that fucking place to start selling computer games. It was fucking over, bro. The day I was able to buy Roller Coaster Tycoon from the Scholastic Fair. Yo, I was the shizness in that class. I felt like the man when the teacher was like, "Oh, your books have gotten here, kids." Everybody's getting books. And
Harry Potter.
Like, that motherfucker hands me Roller Coaster Tycoon, the cool box art. And I was like, awesome. And everybody's like, how'd you get a video game? I'm like, look, they have a little section down here and there's some video games. But I missed that. I watched Captain Underpants. What? Fire when I was probably a little too old to be reading that, but I got that.
Captain Underpants was the shit.
I never read Captain Underpants.
That shit was fire.
My underpants based hero was Quailman.
Quailman was my dude too. Y'all don't remember Quailman?
From Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Doug,
yeah.
I can picture him, but really, not at all.
Yo, what the fuck? He had a belt on his head?
He did have a belt on his head. I was just picturing it, the little like the loop.
That's fucking wild. Mateo.
Yes, sir.
You did mention something about loop or some. I don't know what. Was that a game or something you mentioned?
Yeah, dude, Loop Hero. It's a weird game. It's super weird. Honestly, I still don't even know if I like the game yet, but I can't stop playing it. uh, it's weird though. Like apparently like the world got forgotten. Like the Lich, is it the Lich, Pucho? You've been playing it too.
I haven't gotten too far. I've only done like 5 runs.
Yeah, I've done maybe 10. I haven't gotten very far in the game yet. Huh?
So what is the loop for people that don't know shit of what the hell you're talking about? Like, what is the loop? Is it
So
a PC game, a console game?
it's
Like,
I know it's on Steam. I don't think it's
I
on
think
anything
that's
else right
it.
now. But it's weird. It's like it's a weird mix of an RPG and a deck building game, and it's almost like if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you're the dungeon master, but you're also the player at the same time, but you're not actually controlling the player. Because basically there's like this track. There's a randomly generated track and your hero just walks around it, and there's a day and night, or there's a day cycle, and enemies spawn in. And if you don't put anything down, I think it's just slimes that spawn. And the more you go around, the more days pass, the faster the enemies will spawn in, or the more that will spawn in with each loop, and they get stronger. But you also, as you defeat them, you start gaining gear. And you can equip gear on your hero. You can you also get like these cards that are like, they build out the world. So then you can put down like some meadow places, and the meadows give you bonuses. Like you get like extra health regen. You get some materials. You can put down a vampire mansion, and it causes vampires to start spawning whenever you're fighting things around them, which I think is good because you get better gear or something from the vampires. I'm not sure what the point of putting the harder enemies is up yet. I think you get better gear or something though.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, yo, what if I just don't put nothing down and just let them loop? I know you won't get that many resources, but I just wonder what'll happen.
Mhm.
My theory right now is that the putting the vampires in starts dropping the vampirism like gear.
That's
Like,
probably accurate.
but I don't know.
And then
Basically, your character can land attacks, and he has life steal, so it heals him. So it just makes him a little bit more survivable. So, but yeah.
and
Keep
it's
going with them.
at a certain point the boss for that loop spawns in. I have not fought the boss yet because the only time I had the boss spawn in, I had the tiniest little sliver of life. I was like, he's gonna one shot me. I'm gonna get one swing at that dude, and he's gonna destroy me, and I'm gonna lose all my shit.
You summon the boss?
He just spawns in eventually on his own. Like there's an extra little counter, the little bar that goes across, and when it reaches the top level, it randomly spawns in the boss somewhere.
And it's called Loop Hero because the game is like
looping.
it's just like a rectangle pretty much, and the character walks along that rectangular path just nonstop. And then as he defeats enemies, you get like these cards, and you could place the cards onto the board, which is the world, and it starts to like build out the world. So you could add a village, you're adding things to the world.
Nice.
And
then in between runs, you're building out this village that is full of people that somehow remember the world before it got destroyed or deleted or whatever. It's got this whole extra plot going on that I have not gotten through very much.
So you're like rebuilding people's cognitions and stuff like that?
Kind of. That's what it seems like, at least.
yeah.
But like I said, I don't know. I still don't know how much I like the game. But it's addicting. It's easy to play too. I see why everyone's playing it on Twitch, because you can just have that game running on its own, and then you can be interacting with your stream and all that shit on like your other screen, and you can pause it and you can interact, and like it's made for streaming. Like the game is like designed for that streaming world.
Have you guys ever been on Steam looking at a review and the person's like, no, fuck this game, don't ever buy it? And then you go to look at how many hours they've played, and they've played like 3,000 hours, and you're like, huh?
I haven't had that experience.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I like some of the goofy options that the Loop Hero has though. Did you see there's a CRT option? So it'll mimic, like if you're playing it on a CRT monitor, it'll like have the little like the lines and like the echoes of like images and whatnot.
Sometimes.
Like
So,
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm flicking it back and forth right now. It even gives it like a curve to the edges, like how those tube TVs were.
Like Doughy's camera up there.
You
Yeah.
know what I love? Look what you can see.
Oh,
Is that the one that's broken?
No, this is the new one. When it came out for PS4, I got the whole band set again.
Now, or is it still at the?
It's still the same. It's got this.
It's got the plastic,
Mhm.
no rubber rim like you wanted.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, yeah, this is
Who's the developers of Loop? Hero.
oh, dude, I've got no idea. Anyone got that pulled up?
Yeah, no. I know that Devolver published it, but
Oh,
Once
yeah, it
again,
was a
baby.
Devolver title.
I don't know if
once
it's a
again-
Devolver game.
man.
What's
I
up?
hope
What do you-
I love Devolver, but I feel like they're got the monopoly right now, and they're gonna become like EA of the fucking indie world.
I was just where was I reading this?
I also saw that as well. I saw something about Annapurna Games. What is Annapurna? That must be another developer because that's all I
They're
hear.
they're another they're
They're like a
another publisher. Yeah, something like that. But they publish like a lot of walking simulators. Um so like I think they did like the What Remains of Edith Finch. They did the Outer Wilds, which I stand by. That shit that was my game of the year.
I've
I
heard
think
good
I played
things
it
about
last
that one,
year.
man.
Oh my god, that game is incredible.
Okay.
It's one of the best games I've ever played. Like, but they just publish a lot of games like that aren't.
Combat based.
Yeah, they're just very like walking simulators, so to speak. And they were like basically just some indies were complaining about like, it's super shitty that like the nowadays one of the only means of getting published is to get published by the Annapurna or Devolver are like one of the only two ways that you could like come out as an indie. Otherwise, your game just gets buried under the billions of, not billions, but there's probably like tens of thousands of indies on Steam like a year.
Dude, it's impossible to find new games to play on Steam. Like, there's just so many. Like, if
Yeah.
you're not playing, if you're not playing what everyone else is playing, if you're not playing what's popular, like trying to find a new game to play is damn near impossible. My little like my queue, my discovery queue is 90% trash every single time I go through it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what I think PlayStation has over Steam. That it's kind of, well, I like the old store, but I found a lot of games through PlayStation Store that I didn't know if I'd like. Even through their trailers and their format of like, hey, these are the small games that are coming out this year. That's how I found out about Enter the Gungeon. Bam, one of my top 5 games of all time. Like,
Trash game. Hate that game, dude. I don't know
love
why
it.
I hate that game so much, but
I love it.
I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. It has some of the things that I liked about like The Binding of Isaac, but I don't know.
I love
I hate how weak you are in that game if you just don't get lucky. It's pretty
Yes.
shit.
see, Binding of Isaac is another one that I could not get into. I've
Oh,
definitely put
man,
more. I've
another
definitely
one
put
I
more
love.
time into that one than Gungeon, though.
Yeah.
Nah. So freaking yeah, so the whole Steam thing too, it's like because we're like 4 fucking tangents deep right now. But the whole Steam thing too, like I've had this conversation with other friends where I'm like, yo, I miss like there's basically 2 schools of thoughts, right? Like back in the day on the Nintendo, like Nintendo only allowed like a publisher to release like I think 3 games a year.
Really?
So like yeah, so like you had a license with Nintendo and you could only release a max of 3 games a year. So it would force a developer to like if we could only release 3 games, it got to be 3 bangers. Like we need to make money off this shit, right? We can't just be pumping shit out. So what you have on the Nintendo is basically every single game that got released on that console is a game that the publishers truly believe in and they're putting their all into it. So I find that it like granted we're talking about the Nintendo, so like nowadays those games are much more difficult to play and things like that, but back in those days that was like the type of game that existed. Pretty much any Nintendo game you bought, they were all pretty good. In the Super Nintendo, they just let people release as many as they wanted, so you get a lot more. Like any game could be shit. And I feel like Steam is now even off the deep end with this, which is basically they don't have any. There's really like no quality to what's going on the platform anymore. Like before, it used to be tough to get published on Steam. You needed a publisher, like that was like a rule. But now it's just like you make a game, you can launch it, which is awesome because a bunch of people have made like a bunch of money off that type of shit. So
Yeah.
more power to them. But at the same time, it's like you go and look, and there's like 1,000 new games a day, and it's like it becomes so hard to find anything.
It's like a tsunami of garbage games.
Yep.
Yeah, you get more trash than quality when you just have a bunch of people just putting shit out.
Yeah, they opened the floodgates.
So then what people are complaining about with this Annapurna and this Devolver stuff is that basically now that there's a tsunami of games coming out, there's no way that anyone's ever going to find your game. So the only way to get your game found is to be published by one of these indie publishers, which right now the two big indie publishers are Annapurna and Devolver. And they both happen to publish a lot of the exact same types of games. Like if you look at their games, Annapurna does a bunch of walking simulators. Devolver does a bunch of like very graphic, like or like gritty or edgy content. So like they publish like Hotline Miami, right? Like so like Tony's playing Hotline Miami right now. Jesus is too. I just started playing it again, Hotline Miami 2.
Really?
Yeah, that shit's fire. That top down shit. Like I'm not a real big fan of certain games like that, but I don't know, something about me walking around and just it's almost like a Grand Theft Auto feel how it used to be back then in the days, the older version, I guess. Like I'm just going around, I'm just blasting. But if you die once, you got to restart. So it's like a puzzle. You got to time things out correctly. It's pretty cool. I like it.
That game makes you feel like the game makes you feel so cool whenever you like pull off like just the perfect run on a level. Like smash that dude with the door properly. I shot that man with the gun, threw the gun at him, grabbed the knot. Like makes you feel so cool whenever you pull that shit off perfectly.
Matrix shit. It's just bam, bam, bam. Like John Wick, right? John Wick. Hey, I should be good at destroying things.
Hey, you said it, not us, dude.
Hey, Pucho, isn't there another path for these indie developers though? Can't they just get bought up by Microsoft? Isn't Microsoft just buying everyone right now?
I mean, Microsoft, they bought a couple indies, but they bought Bethesda, which is huge. I don't even, what was it, like $11 billion or some shit like that?
It was a lot, dude.
It was a lot of fucking money. Like I remember thinking it was like on par with like money wise, like the Star Wars purchase that Disney made or something. Like I remember it's like in the billions. I was like, damn, like so yeah, they bought Bethesda, which for people who don't know, like basically they have the Doom series. They got Fallout.
That new Doom series is good too.
They got Wolfenstein, and their biggest thing is they have Elder Scrolls, which is Skyrim, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Online, whatever Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be.
Those are major purchases.
Yeah, they got juggernaut franchises.
And they got
now.
that Deathloop game that's coming out. That's a Bethesda game.
No shit.
That other game, that Ghostwire Tokyo, that looked cool, that there was a trailer for, also a Bethesda game. So, Microsoft now owns this company, and a lot of people were wondering, like, what? Now that Microsoft owns it, like, are we just gonna have Skyrim is just going to be an Xbox game and shit like that? And a lot of people are like, no way, because of whatever, right? But just this past week, they had like a conference where they basically said as much as that, like, yo, we've already made a commitment. Like our developers already made a commitment to release like Deathloop on like PS5. So that's going to go there. And whatever games that got announced, they're gonna go to the whatever platforms they got announced. But moving forward, like Elder Scrolls 6, whenever that shit comes out, it's just gonna be a Xbox exclusive.
I wonder if they're gonna go full exclusive or timed exclusive.
No
way. It sounded like they said it's gonna be they said something specifically like it's not exclusive to Xbox, it's exclusive to whatever platforms Game Pass is on.
See, that's interesting because I remember reading this rumor. What was the last big purchase that Microsoft made? I forget who the other studio was before Bethesda.
Minecraft?
Gobbling up farms. They
They
got
bought Minecraft, Mojang.
Yeah,
That was also billions of dollars.
the
but
sensual sacrifice people.
yeah,
Ninja Theory or some shit like that. One of those.
Hellblade is such a good game. But no, back on topic. No, I remember reading this rumor with one of their big purchases last year, where there were some people that were claiming that Microsoft was actually going to get out of the console game. That the current Xbox was going to be the last console, and they were just going to focus on becoming a game development like giant, which is not a terrible plan, honestly, because you could just release shit on Game Pass and on through your Microsoft store, and you wouldn't have to spend any gears like developing your own hardware every few years and having your own dedicated development team that's working on your Xbox game. You could just have your PC version, and the PS4 the PlayStation people they get a build and they have to port that shit over, and if they want to release it on their system, like that was a rumor I heard, but that's interesting if that's not the route they're going to go. That's
I thought that was the route they were going to go because the 360, which did like crazy good for its time, still got outsold by the PS3 in the long run. The PS4 demolished the Xbox One.
Yep.
And even right now, the PS5 is outselling the Xbox Series X significantly. So just off that, I would have thought, like Microsoft's losing its steam in terms of like hardware type of sales and developing hardware, and they're a software company. Like that's what they're good at. Like their online service was always better than PlayStation.
Yep.
They always implemented a lot of the better features in terms of like they had party chat back on the 360 before like anybody really had any, even like there weren't even really like voice over IP applications like that. Like we didn't really have Discord. Like Skype was really the only thing, and it like barely existed at that time. Like we're talking 2006, 2007, you know what I mean? So like shit like that, like they've always been ahead of the curve when it comes to like software and developing like systems. And their hardware just always kind of sucks, in my opinion. I don't like their games. I don't like the hardware, and they had that whole red ring of death shit, which was a huge problem on the 360. So like they have those types of issues. I personally thought that they were just gonna go the software route, which is just like, fuck it, we got this Game Pass thing. We could put it on PC. We could put it on this fucking the Stadia shit. We could put it on PlayStation, and we could charge people money, and they could play our games. They could go full in on the software. But then they bought Minecraft, and then I was like, okay, like that's interesting, because they even right off the bat, if they make Minecraft 2 and just make it exclusive to Xbox, that would be ridiculous. The amount of sales that Xbox will get off of that would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
which is why I don't think and plus I think it's healthy for them to be in the like console game. I don't like monopolies. I don't like when one thing is the everything. I like good competition. I think it's like healthy for everyone else, and even price points, because then when you have one console, then their price point, there's no like, oh, we have to match, we have to like do this budgeting thing where we got to think about the consumers. And I like that shit. I don't think if there's one console creator, and no thanks Nintendo, because your fucking multiplayer sucks balls. Like I like Nintendo, but they'll always be like a single player experience to me now, because fucking online service sucks.
I think Smash Bros is the only like online game I ever really tried to play, and the Smash Bros experience was miserable. Like,
I mean, I played a shitload of Tetris 99, and that shit is fantastic. And that shit's online.
That what Microsoft is doing is smart, right? Because Sony kills them on exclusives. Sony destroys them on exclusive. That is why Sony is so damn good. So what they're doing, they're buying everything that is hot, that they know that sells, to get that exclusivity. Like, so right now, all the shit that was pre-purchased, like they already had plans, cool, y'all can have that. But if that does good, guess what? You're gonna have to go buy an Xbox to play these next games, to do this.
It's smart, but I hate this shit. This is why I hate this. This is what I hate about the Epic Store, where they buy up like exclusive rights to these games, and then it's a timed release, and it's like, oh, you can play Borderlands 3 on Epic Store this year, or you can wait a year and a half and play it on Steam.
Yeah.
Me,
That
me as an angry consumer, I waited a fucking year to play that shit on Steam because fuck giving Epic Store any money just so they can make more money and spend it on buying more fucking exclusives and making me have to have multiple goddamn launchers on my stupid goddamn PC.
Epic is a scary company, bro. The not just Epic, the company that owns Epic, Tencent, is gigantic.
They're huge.
It's like insane. They're like the 2K of China. They have made money through like an insane amount of mobile games because I guess mobile games are more popular in China. Like that's like a form of video gaming in China that's like huge.
Yeah, some people spend
But
lots of money on those mobile games. Like they'll spend like $60 a month or something on some of those mobile games.
Yeah, all them games, bro. Call of Duty, all those games, PUBG, fucking. Those are not like that. What's that game? South Park. What is this?
South Park Phone Destroyer.
Yeah,
I'm addicted to that game.
shit is wild.
I'm
How much
addicted to.
on that shit?
They show you at the end of the single player campaign. They're like, "Hey, you might need to go see somebody about this because this is how much you've spent on this game." And I think
they tell you.
yeah, they tell you at the end of the single player.
That's good.
You can keep beating it, and they tell you like, "Yo, you might need some help because you spend a lot of money." I think it was like at $200 at that point,
Oh,
$240. Yeah,
Wait,
I spent. Huh?
What are you buying?
In-game cash.
And then he uses those to buy booster packs.
No. It's a card game, so you're buying card packs, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a booster pack.
So yeah, but
call back in the day.
in this, I feel like they're very, very, very generous in this game. So you don't need to buy card packs. I'm getting to a place in the multiplayer where I'm plateauing because I need to get more copies of these cards to level them up, and then I need items to level them up.
Need.
So.
He keeps using this word need a lot when he's talking about this mobile game.
Said he spent $200. I mean,
that he's already beat all the story content for, right?
So, you know what happened to me? This is when I'm thinking about this shit now, right? I've never been like a add-ons, DLC, fucking microtransaction, buying coins. I never bought any skins on Overwatch. I never bought any skins on Rocket League. I never really bought skins like in none of these games. I wasn't trying to spend no money, right? And I'm thinking about it. You know what burned me? 1997, dude. Pokemon has just taken over the whole fucking world, bro. And I remember I loved Pokemon. I was so fucking hyped. The bodega around the corner from my building, they started selling Pokemon cards, right? So I asked my mom for some money. I think it was $2 or maybe $3 for like a pack of cards. So I go to this shit, I buy the pack of cards, rip them up, I open it up. It was like a silver packaging. It was trying to like grab your eye and shit. Open the shit, open up all these cards, dude. Why I got like 5 Geodudes? I was like, nah, man. So then I bought another pack of cards. I had to ask my mother for more money, dude. Opened the fucking pack of cards again. There was like more fucking Geodudes, bro. It was just like a lot of bullshit cards. I was like, nah, fuck this. This shit's random. Like I'm trying to cop a card. I said, nah, fuck this. Yeah, that's it. That shit burned me. Super young.
There's tricks to that because when I was a big fan of Pokemon too, and I always go to the flea markets for the cards. On the cards, there's there's numbers, there's
Dude, that's how the game works, Tony.
No, right. So I would go and get a pack of 10, and the first pack I opened, holographic Charizard, Bulbasaur, Venusaur, what is what shaking his head, and Charmander, and what was the other one? Alakazam. First card I ever opened up, I was like, holy shit, I hit the lotto, got some major keys. Bought another one, so I left that shit with like 10 packs. Got home, opened it up, energy cards, fire cards, bullshit, whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them fucking energy cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 17 fireballs in those packs I bought.
Because the main card will be on the back. It will be on the end, right? So I always open it up from the back and just rip from the back first because I can be excited. I opened up another one, got another holographic Charizard. First edition. Like these it has a stamp and everything. These bitches are now worth money right now, by the way.
You bought these from a flea market.
Yeah.
Are these real cards? Are these just some bootleg cards you bought?
Yeah, that in Florida, flea markets are like a big thing, and they're much different than what you think of in the different states. Like flea markets actually sell like goods.
Okay, I'm just making sure that Tony's not over here bragging about it. Some Charizards or something that he got from his bootleg Pokemon.
I'll go and grab my shit. So
Instead of a holographic, it was a hologram.
Ooh.
Wow.
Now flea markets in Florida are kind of like back in the day, where people would have like literally like town markets where people would walk around.
He's going to grab his Pokemon
He's
cards.
gonna go grab his fucking Pokemon cards. And so, you know, like people have like town markets where so-and-so bring their milk, so-and-so bring cheese. Everybody's bringing all their different goods. It's kind of how the flea market is. Every weekend, everybody sets up shop. But for sure, people are selling fake shirts, fake shoes, fake jewelry. Mm-hmm. They got to be selling some motherfucking fake Pokemon cards. Shit.
There's a place in New York City called El Mundo. And there used to be stores all across New York City called El Mundo. There's only a few left now, but that was like the place to get knockoff whatever. Now it's like VIM. You go into a VIM, you get some knockoff shit in VIM sometimes.
Wasn't there a knockoff place like down the road from your old place?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking? Okay.
I think that's where I took you guys. That's crazy. I hope things get better here. Everybody's starting to get their vaccine, and I hope that we could all like meet up again.
Got 6 days, dude. 6 days. I'll be fully vaccinated.
No way! Congratulations.
You already got your first one?
Mm-hmm.
I remember you mentioning this. I just don't remember you getting it.
Yeah, I got it like 2 weeks ago. Because I've got 3 weeks between. Yeah.
You said that
he doesn't have any Pokemon cards.
He doesn't have any Pokemon cards.
Oh, man.
Oh, this man's a liar. He went and checked it, and it said it was a Charlie lizard.
Charlie lizards. 4 holographic Charlie lizards. So
these YouTubers are going to probably cringe the way I take these shits out this
Oh, my God.
It's got it in a zip.
What?
Yeah.
Bro. Oh.
Isn't that card worth a couple $100 or some shit?
I look like a super nerd, but I don't give a fuck. I got a Dragonite holographic first edition. Alakazam holographic first edition.
No, you gotta put these up to the screen. You gotta show these bad boys off.
Venomoth.
You gotta let it adjust.
Oh, that's not gonna adjust. That's too shiny.
Yo, it's holographic. That's how you know it's the real shit.
There's a big ass bend in that card.
Oh. And a Japanese edition. I don't know if this is worth shit. Holographic as well. I found it at.
Is that a Doug trio?
Yeah. I got a Pidgeot. I was also holographic.
You know, sometimes I can kind of predict how our recordings are gonna go. I could not have told you that we were gonna see Tony whip out a bunch of Pokemon cards on this recording.
It's all thanks to Dos wasting all his money on this fucking phone destroyer bullshit. Buying packs.
Non-holographic. Fire. And the creme of the crop.
Creme de la creme?
Yeah, this one's in the heart.
Because there's cream of the crop and creme de la creme. But you said la creme de la crop.
Oh, look, he's got that one in a protection, though.
Yeah, this one is in its this. I have not taken it out since I bought. This is the original how I purchased it. In this case, holographic, bro, mint condition.
How much did that cost you?
This was like $2 at the flea market. And supposedly they said these first edition Charmeleon. I don't even know how to pronounce this shit name anymore.
Can I see it? Let me see it.
This is the only one that's in its hard case.
Nice.
Then you know, fucking all these other ones in here in plastic bags.
Can we have Tony take these cards to some kind of appraiser just to get us a value estimate on all these cards?
I guarantee you that these cards are not worth more than like $3.
Oh, we could take a bet. We could make some kind of bet on this thing.
holographic Moltres, and a Mewtwo. Holographic.
Damn,
That's
holographic
fire.
Mewtwo.
That's pretty
Yeah.
badass.
That's fire.
Never been taken out of this. I bought it literally like this. Never. This will be the first time I'll take it out. Yeah. I've never. Oh, almost dropped that bitch.
Oh
dude,
yeah,
this
that would be the worst thing that's ever happened in those cards.
shit is in pristine condition that it could be inside of a case since I was like young, bro.
Except for them big ass fingerprints you're putting on that card right now.
You're devaluing my fucking.
Just saying it, Mateo, is devaluing it. Not when he did it. It's just when you said it. You made it real. You spoke truth into the world. Some
Oh,
people
man.
think that, you know? You say something like, yo, I'm going to become a millionaire. Like it just might happen, you know?
It could. The fuck
Speak it.
up.
You can. I don't know. I think that there are certain things like vision boards that do work. You look at these
They're
things every
magical.
day.
You create this thing and it just happens for you. The shit's like wizardry. It's like Harry Potter.
Yeah, I got a bunch of.
I'd love that shit.
In the goblet of cock.
You know what's crazy too is that my dumb ass as a kid, I had there's a Pokemon card that is worth stupid bread, and it's the one that they fucked up on. It was the I think it's the Pikachu with the paintbrush. I had that. You know what my dumb ass did when I was a kid? Because I didn't know no better, and back then, who would have thought that shit would be worth thousands of dollars? I traded it away for a fucking holographic fucking what was it? A Meowth.
Ugh.
Oh,
But Meowth is holographic Meowth is fucking,
Y'all fucking cat lovers. This is all goes back to this cat loving bullshit.
cat lover, hamster hater.
Hamster hater. Yeah, cats hate the rats. That's how it works.
guy.
All right.
Or whatever. That's the Pokemon.
How
Shit.
did we get here? What were we talking about? Bethesda?
Yeah, we were talking Bethesda. Long story short, these motherfuckers, they're gonna start making things exclusive.
Gonna start
as
making
much
bank.
as much as we don't like it, because I personally don't like it. I don't like the idea of exclusive stuff and all that shit. It's just kind of whack. Like one of the big reasons why no one even played the game that I just said was like my game of the year, the fucking
Outer Wilds.
the Outer Wilds. The reason people didn't play it is because it was exclusive to the Epic Store.
Oh no shit.
So it's just it never went to Steam, where like 90% of the PC gamers use, and people didn't really play it. So it went kind of like low key.
Huh.
And that shit's phenomenal.
I need to check that one out. I think it is on Steam now, right?
I think so. I think it went on Steam a whole year later. It was exclusive to the Epic Store, like completely. So I think it got on PlayStation just last year, as well as Steam, and I think that's it.
Just to bring it back again, and I'll get off my rant. When the holographics have this number next to it, see that first edition right above my dirty fingernail?
Mm-hmm.
That's money. That's money. Because you can't get first edition fucking. Yo, I sound like one of those fucking.
I just don't believe you. I think this is what all the kids used to tell themselves back in the day. I don't know if this is real.
It is a real thing. Go and Google it.
I want someone to appraise these cards so bad. I want someone to look through them. They're gonna be like, "This is a bootleg card, dude. Look at this right here. This means that this is a fake card."
Nah, you drunk, nigga.
Somewhere in the storage, I have a whole thing, sleeves and all that. I used to play Magic too. Magic was a fun game to actually play.
I think I've got a Magic deck right there.
Yo,
Pretty sure that's my Magic the
was
Gathering deck.
fire. I actually played Magic, and I actually enjoyed that game a lot. I never played Pokemon. Like, niggas was out there playing at lunch.
I mean, what the fuck? All right, hold on, Tony. Whip out that Charizard again. Let me.
Are you appraising this card right on the broad?
Trying to bank on my shit, nigga. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
Trying to bank on my shit?
I'm not trying to bank. I just want to see if it matches this card here.
Gonna start charging me. and be like, oh,
No, Tony ain't even lying.
not bro.
Yo, go check this shit out. Because they got this Charizard, the exact same card you got, first edition, all that. Shit says it's worth $11,999.
What the fuck?
All-time high, like the price of the cards and stuff like that.
Look at the first edition Dragonite holographic.
Tony, you better go pay go sell that shit right now before the Pokemon
Oh,
market
wait,
crashes.
it depends though. It depends. There's different
Ratings.
There's
ratings.
There's two Charizards. They look almost the same, but there's different. The deepness of the reds are different. So one's worth 12,000, the other one's worth 2,500. Yours could still be the 2,500 one, depending on. I mean, yeah. There's seven inquiries on this card. So,
Doughy,
put it in there.
Doughy, save us from Pokemon hell. What else happened in games recently?
All right, guys. All right, one of you guys help me out here. Make newsroom music for my entrance
with our mouth.
Yes, or do. All right, I'm gonna do it then. Pre-recorded at a secret location on New York. This is David. Oh wow. Doughy with his news on video games. And then like whooshing, shoosh, whoosh. Doughy's newsroom. Oh my god. Doughy, make love with me. Okay.
Wait.
So
wait, is that okay to the person yelling to make love with you? Or is
me, they're asking, they're like so excited about my news.
Is this?
Like,
I don't think this happens at normal news.
Yeah, is this a news show or is this like a talk show? What is going on here?
This is like those pornos where they have like a super mundane storyline, but then it goes left real quick. It's always version of working in the newsroom.
Mm-hmm.
There's crowds of people outside clamoring to get in and make love with the newscasters.
I love you, Doughy.
We're gonna have to hit up our graphic designer, I guess, for some kind of graphic there for Doughy's news show.
All right, guys. So we have a lot of news here. We have a lot of stuff. I want to go over first. Sony partners with 4 nonprofits to support Black communities.
Oh, cool.
And I think this is very cool. The company wants to create long-lasting change by improving access to tech fields and gaming industry in low-income neighborhoods.
Hell yeah.
So they want to make basically pave the way so that there can be some sort of line from like low-income neighborhoods to going into tech and video game industry stuff. So I thought that was really cool. There's a new Rainbow Six movie coming out.
Was there a previous Rainbow Six movie?
Well, this is like Tom Clancy, but this is like the official Rainbow Six movie. I don't know if there's been another one.
Tom Clancy has a bunch of movies though.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is supposed to be
like he makes great books. Like I read some of his books.
I don't think I've ever read a Tom Clancy book.
Me either, but I heard they're pretty good.
A lot of them are the same, but he has a lot of cool books. And there's some movies that I would say it like, but I don't remember.
Is Hunt
like,
for Red
October? I know that
October?
there's a couple of movies.
Is Hunt for Red October a Tom Clancy story?
Yeah, see now I gotta look it up now.
Or is that like John Grisham or like?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. I think I might be combining John Grisham and Tom Clancy.
Rainbow Six movie though, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Are they gonna
Michael
like
B. Jordan is the main star.
Is it gonna be like
Cool.
Is it gonna be like what is it? Rainbow Six Siege? Is that the current the newest one?
It looks like they're gonna try to add some of this Rainbow Six Siege hype, right? Or should I say Rainbow Six Siege?
Should you?
Definitely seems like they're gonna add a lot of Rainbow Six Siege elements. I like how I said that, and Tony's just still doing something else. But anyway,
he's still looking at his Pokemon cards.
There's also Lauren London. I think this is Nipsey Hussle's wife. Yeah, is gonna be in the movie as well. It's gonna release.
Hustle, man, Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. bro.
R.I.P. It's gonna release on April 30th, and it's an Amazon original.
Mm.
Damn. Yo,
Yeah.
Amazon coming out with some fucking fire, bro.
Yes.
Telling you. Talking about that, remember last time I told you that Amazon was making the animated show for my favorite comic book of all time, Invincible. Everybody should go and read it. I got so hyped just watching the trailer. I read all 144 issues like in the last 2 weeks.
No shit.
I went ham. Yeah, I read all 144 issues all over again, and it's even better than I remember. So go out and read it.
You have
It's
like
fucking
digital
awesome.
copies, or you got like physical copies?
I
of it?
have some. I got like the first few volumes physical, but I have the rest of them digital.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I need to
it's an
check
image.
that one out, man. I need to make myself
Yeah.
a note to check that one out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Walking Dead guy. His name's escaping me. Robert Kirkman. Yeah, dude's good.
We have Sony just removed. Well, not just. They're planning to remove the movie section from the PSN store. So you're not gonna be able to buy episodes. You're not gonna be able to buy movies anymore from the store, which I think is kind of lame because I actually purchased some, and although I haven't purchased a lot, I purchased some off of there, some episodes and stuff. So that's
After you purchase some movies, like does it give you a report like every 3 months or so? It's like, you might have a problem. This is how much you spent on PlayStation movies.
I'm like, dude, Doughy's bought so many goddamn PlayStation movies. We just need to get it off the system, or else he's gonna run himself into bankruptcy. We can't do this to him.
No, I've never bought a PlayStation movie. Like with Amazon existing, like I've got a handful of digital titles on Amazon, but fuck, man, streaming is a thing now. If you can't find a movie to watch on a streaming service, like I don't know, go play a game or something.
Yeah.
I feel like there's too many streaming services now. I feel like there's way too many. CBS All Access, Paramount Plus, Peacock, which I like to call Dickcock. Yeah, I just have this fascination with the word dick and or cock, and anytime I can fit it into something, usually at subject something, anything that has 2 syllables, I'll change one of the syllables to cock. So there's too many in my opinion. I'm about to cancel my Netflix because I just think Netflix is worthless. I also have news on Unreal. Unreal, the engine that they're using, the Unreal engine, has been used in hundreds of games by now. Fortnite, all these games base their engine in Unreal Engine. They have they're releasing something that's called a metahuman creator, and basically instead of
shit, like it's fucking super detailed shit. Like
yeah,
you're making a character and its face features. It's so that shit is realistic as shit.
so basically instead of game developers taking all this time to create a human character, it's gonna basically generate them for the game if they use this metahuman. It's a new part of their engine. I'm sure they're gonna charge people for it, you know what I mean? But it creates hyper realistic humans. It's for all future Unreal titles. If they want to be able to use it, they can use it. It radically simplifies and makes that whole process much faster than if you were creating this character from just scratch, so to speak. So I thought that was super, super cool. That it actually looks really interesting when they have a whole page on their website about it. If you want, you can go check it out. Also, something that we've been playing this week, the Overwatch Patchy Marchy event that we've been in. I love it. It's this mascot that's in Overwatch. It's a very colorful get up that they're doing on Overwatch. It's Roadhog has one of the most colorful skins I've ever seen, and it's very creepy but very cute at the same time.
What is that event anyway? Like what are you doing as part of that event? Because I have not played with y'all boys. I got Tony's 500 invites the other night, but that's about as close as I've come to playing Overwatch with y'all this week.
There's just a few new sprays, 6 new sprays, 3 new player icons, 6 player emotes, epic Roadhog skin. It's from March 9th to 22nd.
But it's not like there's not like a PVE event or anything like that going on with it. It's just some new shit you can grab.
Yeah, they're doing this thing now where basically like at the end of every event, every month they're gonna try to run some type of what they're calling an event, which is just gonna be like themed skins and stuff like that. And then depending on the month, they're gonna release like game modes and stuff.
I guess
So
they're
like
not.
I think next like in the summer they had like the summer games one where there was like you could play soccer and things like that. And then I know they had like the winter sports and the Halloween. Like they're still gonna have that stuff, but like otherwise these events are just like just hooks to get players to go in and unlock like skins and shit like that.
So
I think it's just like if you win 9 games in a week, you unlock like all the unlockables.
that probably makes sense though, because they're probably putting most of their like manpower towards Overwatch 2 right now, right? So like I'm sure Overwatch has become lower priority as far as like let's make some fun holiday events for Overwatch. It's like, no, fuck that. Let's work on Overwatch 2.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah. Up next, we got Sony announces PSVR 2. Finally, they made an announcement about it. A brand new headset, better resolution in the headset, better field of view. The eye tracking is better. Instead of multiple cords, it's just gonna be one single cord now in the back. They're gonna use the haptic sense that's inside the new PS5 technology, and they're creating a controller, but they're also creating a way for the camera. Just you could pick up a banana, and they have controls set up for the banana. It's weird. They're putting controls on objects too. Like they're using. They have some patent that you could just pick up an object and use that as a control, which is cool.
I saw that article, and that is so wild. I don't understand what the purpose of them filing that patent is. I don't know what they're going to use that technology for.
I thought that was super interesting. It's a 2022 release, so we don't have any news on that. Like when in 2022, we have Sony Stay at Home. I don't know if you remember last year in the middle of the pandemic, they gave up a whole bunch of free games. They gave the Nathan Drake story, Uncharted 4, Journey. They gave us all these games to play. They're doing it again in 2021. And if you go in the PlayStation Store right now, they have Ratchet and Clank PS4 for free. And it's 90 days. They're going to be doing this offer. Also, if there's some deal going on with Funimation where Funimation is going to give you a 30-day free 90-day free trial for Funimation as well. Well, there's a whole bunch of animes on there, so if I get it, you know what I mean, we could also start to talk about some sort of anime show that we all pick and choose. So I actually thought that was pretty cool.
I think we start talking about Dragon Ball Z, but we talk about the original Dragon Ball Z, and we talk about one episode at a time, and that'll give us, I don't know, 900 episodes worth of content.
Today, Goku continued to power up the spirit bomb, and he's charging it up. He's got his arms up. We saw all the energy going. I know I've said these exact words 3 episodes in a row. I'm sure tomorrow next episode will be the day where he actually drops the bomb. So, and
then you get 5 episodes of filler.
Yep.
Let's go see what Gohan's up to.
So we got 6 new games announced along with the VR announcement. Doom 3 VR is going, which they made a really cool Oculus version. So I'm guessing they're bringing the Oculus version to the PSVR. They're going to be coming out on the old VR unit and the new VR unit. There's another game called Song in the Smoke, which is like a survival game in a forest setting. So it's basically punching a tree for wood and stuff like that. Yeah.
They just need to stop. They just need to calm down. There's other game types out there, and just go make them, dude. Like, stop making me punch trees. I'm tired of it.
I actually saw a video of a guy punching the shit out of a tree.
I saw that one too on Twitter.
He was ripping it to shreds with his
I don't know any of the context of that video, but I saw that man beating the shit out of that tree.
It was way more interesting than all those other fucking crafting games where you got to punch trees.
I think the game uses like you can use the axe and cut the tree and stuff like that. It's like more interactive, I guess.
He looked pretty interactive with those gloves from the hands.
I was like, he's gonna rip his hands to shreds.
Not lie. Continue because I'm about to just go.
Is this Pokemon stuff?
Go on a tangent. Go ahead.
Have right now is $75 for the card that I have in this fucking bag, just sitting in here like a dick. I'm on eBay right now looking at it.
Is this what you've been doing for the past 20 minutes? Is just pricing your Pokemon
ignoring
cards?
my whole news section.
I've been talking everything he's been saying, fucking all that shit. So whatever.
Imagine being so engaged in a conversation that you're like this time.
And I've responded. I did most of the responding here to every one of your conversations.
All right, continue.
Continue. Boy, what the fuck?
Anyways, so the next game, Fract, which actually looks pretty cool. It combines free running, climbing, so you're gonna be like climbing with the VR.
That game didn't look weird at all. I don't even own a VR.
It looked okay.
Maybe that's why, because to me VR is still not there yet.
I think it's getting there.
Oculus is pretty dope, but it's just I don't know. There's nothing for me to go and get a VR.
I've heard Half-Life Alyx is fantastic though.
That's the only reason why Pucho will buy one.
Or Beat
That's
Saber.
the only reason I've wanted to get a VR.
I've heard good things about Beat Saber.
Heard that too. I love
Yeah,
the game looks cool. I like rhythm games. The Half-Life Alyx, that shit's up my alley. It's the only reason I want a VR, but that shit's expensive.
It's pricey.
And I don't even know if my PC can run it. So then it's like you got to fucking build a PC, then buy the expensive headset, and then maybe play a game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a game or two.
They have good, cool chat rooms in VR right now that are pretty cool. They got like this thing called VR chat where we could all link up and we could all be in like our VR form.
I was going to say, didn't you want us to potentially record an episode in VR chat at some point?
Yeah, I thought it would be so cool, but maybe not. There's this game called I Expect You to Die 2, which is kind of like, it looks like a work simulator. It has a lot of spy and espionage elements to it. It's funny, very silly, and you have like telekinesis and you're pulling a bunch of shit, doing a bunch of puzzles, stuff like that. There's another one called Zenith, which is like an MMO VR game, RPG, a JRPG MMO, which I don't know how that's gonna work. Okay. It's like I don't know. I really didn't understand how that's gonna work. A MMO in VR, which maybe, like I said, maybe it'll be cool. There's a game called After the Fall, which is like a Left 4 Dead clone, but it's VR. So I guess it's gonna be the 4-player. It seems like they're trying to flesh out genres in the VR world now. They're like trying to bring us games that we kind of know and like make them in VR and see if that works. So that's the end of the VR section. There's a new Switch console coming out this year. It's supposed to be 4K output.
Yeah.
OLED screen by Samsung. No launch date, but my guess is it's gonna come out in like September, like before Christmas. I think it'll be so that by the time Christmas is here, it'll be the hot item that nobody can get.
Yeah, they usually try to do those types of launches like beginning of November. So they kind of get like, a couple weeks to sell, then they get them Black Friday craziness, and then they got a whole month for people to gear up for Christmas.
That sucks. That thing's going to have some boosted specs to be able to do 4K output. So it's probably going to have better performance than my current Switch, and that's annoying that I'm going to have to buy a new damn Switch.
This is what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to make a dock that has processing power. I think the dock is what's going to be able to push it to 4K.
won't be able to push 4K on its own.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be like a dock setup.
I think
like
that's I think that is Nintendo leaving money on the table if they don't make it a full-on console refresh. That they're like, you could buy the dock for $100 to do the same thing, rather than them just being like, nope, you need to buy this $400 Switch to be able to do your 4K gaming. Nintendo's very good at making money. I would be surprised if they go the dock route, but that'd be cool for me because then I won't have to spend money on a new Switch.
I think that's how they're gonna do it. And last but not least, Aliens is coming out with a new game. It's called Fire Team, another Left 4 Dead style game. It has it's a team-based class, up to 3 players instead of 4. So I thought that was weird as well.
Yep.
You got Gunner, Demo, Tech, Doc, and Recon classes. The release date for that is in summer.
Does one person play as the aliens or something? That's 3 players is such a weird amount of players to have.
It's a horde mode style game, so it's like Left 4 Dead and like World War Z and stuff like that.
Huh.
So that wraps up my news section. Sexy, what I like to call sexy news. I'm bringing the edge to news, and I'm gonna try to work on this. This area of like sexy, edgy news.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm so hot for you right now.
Oh, it was Pucho screaming the entire time that he wanted to make love to it.
Make love to me, Doughy. What the fuck is going on?
Boy, that boy good. Yo, dope.
Oh, good. Sexual chocolate. Yo, shout out. Yo, I watched Coming to America 2. I liked it. She was
Oh, I
funny.
did too. I definitely.
Barbershop scene, still the best scene in the movie. She was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off in the barbershop scene. So.
I need to check that one out. I heard kind of mixed things about it, but the original Coming to America is one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Yeah, it can't hold the candles to the original, but it's still a decent comedy.
Also,
It's decent for what it is. So.
Doughboy, do you want to explain to the viewers on how we met each other?
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun.
You brought it up.
I feel like that's gonna be well. Maybe we could make it. I don't know.
Save it for the next episode or something.
I think
It's a beefy one.
It's gonna be and there'll be Actually, we'll save that.
we
Cool.
want to go through the intricacies of all the little things.
I guess.
Tony's fucking mad.
This is a teaser. This is a teaser of a story right here.
You watch this much of the show, you just got a little taste of what's gonna come. I also do want to talk about this cancel culture bullshit. I think it's bullshit on some things, but I definitely want to see what you guys think about it because this shit is getting a little out of control. Maybe I need to be enlightened on how I might be looking at it wrong or what, but canceling Dr. Seuss?
I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think personally, it's just progression.
Sorry,
And,
what's it?
Like
This whole cancellation thing, like the whole, I feel like if it has merit to be canceled, then probably should be canceled. If there's like things, I think that's the way life works. Like we learn something's not appropriate, and then we stop doing it. Like
What's the goal of cancel culture? I guess.
I don't know if there's a goal. I don't know what that is. If there is,
if it's offensive or viewed as racist or sexist, they don't want it no more. That's why
I agree.
Because of the 4 or 5 black birds in Dumbo.
Shit is extremely racist. One of them are called Jim Crow.
Yeah, that one is absolutely racist.
Like disgusting.
And Disney is aware that they have racist shit in their vault. That's why Songs of the South has never made it to Disney Plus, because that one is also super fucking racist.
I think there's some things on there I get, but then there's just some.
But
don't.
Here is my take on it. I don't think cancel culture actually exists. I think that it's interesting that the big current cry about cancel culture is coming from a lot of the right wing and conservative leaning people in the world. And those people fucking love capitalism. That's their favorite goddamn thing in the world. Let the market decide. This is just the market deciding. We're deciding that some shit is offensive and we don't want to support it. And that's fucking capitalism, baby. That's what you want. So that's what's going on. There's no such thing as cancel culture.
100%. But I guess to attack the argument is I'm not that right wing guy either. So I'm not like gung ho. I do like capitalism, but I'm not all like gung ho capitalism. So I'm not like, I don't know. I find cancel culture to be kind of odd personally, or whatever we want to call it. If you don't think it exists.
I mean, there's pushes, like there's hashtags that will start streaming and whatnot, but it's, I don't know, I don't know, I don't understand how that's actually canceling anything. These are people that are just saying that they're not going to buy a product or participate in watching a show or something, and they're just being vocal about it. It's not. I guess that some companies will feel a push because of the negative Twitter feedback, and they'll cave.
Right. Like, for example, the not that I agree at all with any of her comments, but like, for example, the Cara Dune woman from The Mandalorian, right? She made a bunch of disgusting remarks, and there was just a big like Twitter thing that occurred, and then it seemed like in response to that, Disney dropped her, right?
Yeah.
So now she's not going to be in The Mandalorian anymore. So those people got her fired, which is like, in a sense, right, canceling her from like, her job. Right now she got to go find another job, and her life's now going to be a little more difficult because, she might not be able to get in movies and shit like that, right? Whatever. Boohoo. I'm not throwing a pity party for her. I'm just saying, like, what I'm interested in, or I guess there's a few things, right? Because I guess the thing that I find most interesting is like, how far are people willing to take it, right? Like, because what happens if it's all cool and all, right? Like, because like I've seen people get canceled, like rich people, right? So you're like, who cares? That person's probably a millionaire. They could probably figure out their life, right?
They're gonna cry themselves to sleep on their cash-filled pillow.
Right. But I've seen people like express just like political opinions, such as like, someone just might support Donald Trump as an example, right? And then people are like try to get them fired from their jobs and shit like that. Like I wonder how far is it like considered acceptable, like, or how far do some people think, like, do they want these people to just like die? Like because like if you're willing, if you think getting someone fired from their job is okay, then what if like you're like you go to their bank and you're just like, I need you to stop banking with this person. Like, this person's a piece of shit. Don't let them open any credit cards or get any loans. And then what if you go to like their HOA and they're like, you got a piece of shit living in your neighborhood? Like, how far, like, are we willing to drive people to like homelessness? And I'm sure, and this isn't the issue. I'm more curious philosophically, like the idea of this. Like, I don't know. I find it interesting. I personally feel like and you gotta ask Tony. I'm down with cancel culture in a sense, right? Like, cause like when Kanye West was all going gun ho, all Donald Trump, I said, fuck that motherfucker. I ain't buying his music no more. I stopped listening to Kanye West. Straight like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not over here like saying like, cause in a sense it like you said, it is capitalism in action, right? Like I didn't like what he said, and I said I'm not putting my money towards someone that I disagree with. I prefer to not purchase his stuff. I don't want to support that. I don't want to support a platform where he's going to be voicing these types of things. I don't think I'm hurting him all. That motherfucker's a billionaire, but fuck it. That's my decision, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some kind of like there's some kind of distinction there, right? Because like I participate in that same sense. Like, I don't fuck with Kanye anymore. That's not my thing. I think that man probably needs some mental health professional to give him some assistance in his life, but that's completely unrelated. So I'd participate in that sense. But I don't know. I'm not really like putting hashtags on Twitter kind of dude. I'm not, writing emails to every Disney.com address I can find about Cara Dune and being like, yo, this is what she's saying on Twitter. Let me just spam every Disney.com email address I can think of calling for this woman's head or anything.
Nah, there's people take that shit.
And there are, and I think that shit is probably too extreme. I don't know that is strictly necessary. I think just the movement itself and just deciding this is someone that I don't want my money to go towards supporting this person for, whatever myriad of reasons you have. I think that's fine. I think that the hashtags on Twitter are fine, but like once you're getting to that point where it's like, let me start calling up numbers of people at companies and trying to get through to the CEO and leave angry messages or going after, I don't know. I think there's definitely there's some kind of ethical line for me personally whenever it comes to things like that.
It's just like when you start canceling shit, right? And I get it. Racist shit and all that. I get it. You want to just get rid of it and whatever. But like they canceled Dr. Seuss books. Right.
Just to be clear, the publisher of the Dr. Seuss books themselves, they removed 5 out of his hundreds of books.
That's what I was.
There's 5 of his books that had some troubling material in there, either racial or anti-Semitic and stuff like that. And so they removed just 5 out of his hundreds of books.
That's what I was about to say. Who is this they that actually canceled them? Because it was the foundation themselves deciding to pull these books.
Well, yeah,
I do. To be fair, I do think it was in response to like a big Twitter backlash.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. I don't think just one day they were like, "Hey, we ourselves found these things in these books."
Mm-hmm.
Like I think somebody put out some information. And then
I think although there's a different company, Aunt Jemima also just straight up came out and said, "No, Aunt Jemima got rid of Aunt Jemima because Aunt Jemima is a racist stereotype."
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Absolutely.
100%. 100%.
And Aunt Jemima.
What about Uncle Ben?
That is also it's a racist stereotype.
Who? Uncle Ben?
The
and
rice.
Aunt Jemima. Yes.
I don't know. What the fuck is Uncle Ben?
He did rice.
It's just
rice.
I think it was
it's
like
a
Uncle
rice,
Ben's rice.
It's like a rice brand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Aunt Jemima. Me growing up, I didn't see that shit racist, right? Growing up as a kid, like I thought that if that lady's picture wasn't on a syrup, I ain't want it because that quality was trash. Like that's how I viewed it. Like, oh, Aunt Jemima, word, that's that fucking syrup. I mean, that.
You're kind of pointing out some of the issues with using these racial stereotypes as marketing tools, though, because it normalized it in your mind as a child that this is an appropriate racial stereotype. I mean, that's the reason why that the Dumbo, the Jim Crows, that's why that's a racist kind of thing. It was racial stereotypes on display in a children's cartoon. For what fucking purpose? None. Zero purpose. I think those crows barely added to the story. They gave him the feather, I think, that let him fly again or made him believe in flying again or something. I haven't seen Dumbo in years, dude.
And they canceled Pepe Le Pew.
Who is they?
Pepe Le Pew was a very aggressive character. I watched Pepe Le Pew last year at a bar, and there was this one guy at the bar that was yelling at the TV like, "Don't you understand? No means no, Pepe."
Well, yeah, they canceled him because of the because he admits it's flirtatious to Penelope, and she
He ain't flirtatious. This motherfucker done made like fucking made like poisonous clouds that have intoxicated her mind to try to date rape her. Like this is a very different. Dude is sexually aggressive.
He has committed sex crimes. He is 100% committed sex crimes.
100%.
So my whole thing is, right, if they canceling these characters and shit, right? What about the other characters they're not canceling? Right? How about South Park? Fuck the Jews, fuck of this, fuck of that. That's everything South Park's always ever said.
South Park is satirical though, and they've been very upfront about it being satire, and it's
there's a difference.
It's shining a mirror at these shitty aspects of society and being like, look at how ugly you are, essentially.
Yeah.
Like what we were doing with our mic check earlier when we were talking about your face.
Wow, yeah, that's what y'all doing?
So you're saying that because some things have been canceled, you're saying where does it stop?
No, yeah.
That's
Which,
what
And
you're asking?
which is a valid question. It's not a completely invalid question. I think
that's her. Simple and plain. Let's cancel fucking Jessica Rabbit's that movie with that white chick for whatever had that slutty ass dress, and
Talking about the
Roger Rabbit.
who
What-
framed Roger Rabbit.
but,
Yeah.
but for what
Why
pur-
would we? Why would cancel
Mad
him?
sexual. Why are we?
the problem isn't that the problem with Pepe Le Pew is not that he's sexual. The problem with Pepe Le Pew is that he's a sex criminal.
He was aggressive. He had a filing restriction.
No, he's a rapist.
He's rapey. Like
It's
his
not, no, he's not
the
rapey. He
He's
would
a
go to
rape-
jail for life with the number of infractions that he's committed in one episode, probably.
Jessica Rabbit was just she was embracing her sexuality, which is fine. Like if you want to dress in a sexy dress, then go for it. She's not committing any crimes or anything. She's not over there grabbing men's faces and put them in her cooch or something against their will. Like there's a big difference between Pepe Le Pew and Jessica Rabbit.
And then they didn't even cancel Lolo Bunny. They just made her fat.
But why? Why would they
It is-
cancel Lola Bunny?
Why?
She was being mad, like luring Bugs Bunny in with her sexy, like first Space Jam. That's why they changed her.
Seducing, you mean?
She had them titties. She had the bunny
Are,
ass.
are you upset about Lola Bunny no longer being sexy? Is that what's going on?
I've heard those as well.
I don't think.
So in a sense, they canceled her. They made her not sexy anymore, according to
why?
you, right?
Like,
Well-
so are we canceling because she was so beautiful that
I
it's
don't-
gonna show that only people.
I think that was a pure Warner Brothers decision. I don't think there was any campaign that
They
was
made
like
it because of this cancellation shit. I'm telling you,
all that
But
I
I did.
backlash.
People are pissed that she's. Also, I saw the whole imagery of Lola Bunny being super sexy and all that. Those are like, for the most part, those are like made up pictures. Like I saw somebody compare like original Space Jam footage with like the new stuff, and she looks pretty comparable. All this huge hip shit that you're seeing is just people making art.
is that people going to Roll 34 and just pulling pictures or something.
Apparently, there was a scene in the new Space Jam where LeBron is teaching Pepe Le Pew about consent, and that got cut from the movie.
Right.
That's probably not something you should. I don't know. Teaching children consent is an important conversation to have. I would wonder how that would like play into the pacing of a Space Jam movie. It's like, we're gonna play basketball. Oh, here's a scene about consent, and then back to basketball and hijinks.
It's just crazy to me. Like this fucking society is like
Progressing.
we got racist shit going on in the world, right? So the way to fix it is eliminating everything that's racist, right? I'm down for it. But now we're gonna do certain things are gonna get eliminated. We're gonna pick and choose what gets eliminated. I'm just like, why? Like, if we want to be neutral on everything, right? Go through all the shit, every fucking joke, anything that was jokingly made that had some type of racist tendency or anything that offended somebody. Just get rid of it.
The problem is that some of these jokes were made at the minority's expense. Like they were made as racial jokes against that person. That's why those Jim Crows existed. That's why there's the stereotypes about like the black woman that Aunt Jemima is based on. And then you brought South Park up as an example. South Park's not doing that. South Park is not punching below their weight. They always punch up. They're punching at the systems and the fucking society that has made all these stupid ass decisions and has a need to be viewed as in a satirical way. It's that whole if you're not laughing, you're crying thing about how shitty some of the shit in society is.
I agree with some of it, right? Like racist shit. We do need to, in order to change, we got to change these shits. But it's just like, let's just be fair across the book. That's all I'm saying. Let's just
Let me ask, who are they unfair with? Just like quick, like an example. I'm just curious.
No, cancel South Park.
Okay, so I think
South Park, right? I like South Park, but let's cancel South Park. Don't let them air that shit.
So why?
Because shit's offensive. If
So we're not canceling things because they're offensive, right?
That's exactly what canceling is. They're canceling shit that is racist and it offends people. Like literally, you can go to New York Times and they'll show you a list of like
They're
canceling why
they're
people are canceling shit.
they're canceling racist shit because we're trying to move past being a racist society. And yeah, but like people get offended because of the racism and stuff, but that's not the reason we're canceling racist stuff. Reason Pepe Le Pew is being canceled is not because it offends people. It's because maybe we
more-
shouldn't have a children's cartoon that is teaching our children that consent doesn't exist and you can just hug all over people even though they don't want you and date rape them.
I get that. That I understand that. Okay. So the 4 or 5 black birds in Dumbo, shit's racist, right?
Yeah, they're racist stereotypes. They're named after some racist laws that were enacted in the South after the Reconstruction period.
That shit is not offensive, right? Is that shit offensive or not?
It's offensive as a byproduct of the racism and the commemoration and the stereotyping that they're using.
So then someone's screaming out, and just using an example, F the J's, F the N's, all this shit, right? Making fun of Canadian.
Oh my god, sorry, because
Offensive. If someone is catching offensive feelings or something, right? Let's say that shit hurts a whole community of people, of the Jewish community. That shit offends all of them. So we're not gonna get rid of that shit. Shit's offensive. Yes or no? Just because they're not saying like, oh,
I think, but I'm saying that we're not canceling people because it's offensive. You keep taking it back there. I think the goal is that we don't want to reinforce like negative stereotypes of people. We don't want to teach people that these behaviors are okay.
I think that if you're watching South Park and what you're taking away from the show is watching Cartman being like, oh yeah, it is funny when Cartman makes fun of Jews. I think that you're not watching the same show as me because Cartman's a piece of shit. And if you don't understand that by watching South Park and realizing this man is a piece of shit, they're making fun of people that are like this and not actually making fun of the Jewish people with some of the comments that they're making, then you're watching the show wrong, man. Like that's
I don't think that whoever's watching the show and the takeaway is, oh, the show is teaching me that it's okay to be a bigot against all these groups of people. I don't think that you're educated or equipped enough to watch that show. I mean, it's a mature show. You're probably not mature if your takeaway is, oh, they said F the Jews. That's a green light to go ahead and do that. Like,
Also, you may not understand how like satire works and what satire is, like, because a lot of people didn't get that. Especially from one explanation. What's the guy who came on before the Daily Show, the Stephen Colbert Show?
Mhm.
That show was completely satirical, although some like Fox was even upset at them because they took their format and it's basically making fun of Fox News, but in a satirical way.
Tony,
It was being like,
Tony, I don't think that was a specific call out to you. I think Doughy was saying you as in one, like a person. I don't think he was specifically meaning that as you, Tony.
I was trying to read this. So the New York Post, right? The phenomenon
it's like you're not listening at all. But
canceling of people, brands, and even shows and movies are due to what some consider to be offensive or problematic remarks or what did she say? Oh, goes into a link. My bad. Order problematic remarks. That's what this canceling shit culture.
Well, that's what that person said on the New York Times, but that's just not the case.
And I mean, there can be problematic remarks like saying that trans people aren't people or transphobic statements or homophobic statements. Like those are problematic remarks. And yeah, they're offensive, and that's part of the reason for the cancellation. But the root cause of it, if you're actually thinking about it logically, the reason why people are getting canceled for statements like that is because we're not trying to be a society that's homophobic anymore. We're not trying to be transphobic. We're not trying to, I don't know, we're trying to move past those ideals. They're dying. They're slowly dying, but it's
you
a
go
fight.
you go to certain states and it does not seem like those things are dead. I have a lot of people that I went to school with that they feel like, and even friends from old, they think that the agenda being pushed on TV is one to make their children either appreciate homosexual things, or they're like, oh, they're trying to push all this homosexual stuff on kids and all these kids don't know what they're looking at. And I kind of like, I don't get it personally.
Mhm.
Like, a lot of people think that just because there's a character that is gay on a children's show, somehow that's magically gonna turn their children gay.
That's crazy.
People believe that
Yeah,
shit, man.
I mean,
people.
it can, right?
I don't.
Like in a sense, right? Like think of not in a negative way, right? But like the to me, what I think the positivity of including gay characters is to teach people that it's okay to be gay.
Mhm.
And if you happen to be gay, maybe seeing that cartoon character maybe helps facilitate you coming out like
Yeah.
in a more healthy way than keeping it repressed to getting married with the person, just a whole life that you don't want to live in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and maybe that parent views that as that shit turned my kid gay, right?
So, question to you, Pooch, because you're a parent and you have a daughter that's growing up.
Yeah.
She starts watching these TV shows and stuff, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she sees two girls kissing and two boys kissing, and then she asks you, why are they kissing? Or two girls or two guys can kiss? Because I see you and mommy kiss each other, but you guys don't kiss other girls or other, you don't, like, you know what I'm saying? So how do you, as a dad, how do you go and teach your daughter about that?
So, I mean, it might sound a bit of a cop out. I would hope that I would raise my daughter in such a way where she wouldn't ask me that question. Like, because I would hope that in her mind, that's already like kind of normal.
Mhm.
But if I were to get the question, I'd say, two people that like each other kiss each other.
Mhm.
I don't think it has anything to do with like two boys or two girls, or it has to be a boy and a girl. Like, I don't know. And I mean, you're probably asking the wrong person too, because I overthink all of the decisions I'm making for my kid. Like this morning, so my daughter's lately, she's been grabbing the broom around the house, and it's big, but she'll grab the broom and she tries to walk it around, and she's kind of lumbering around, she's smacking up things, but she wants to hold this broom.
Uh-huh.
And my wife asked me this morning, like, yo, you think we should buy a broom for Liana, like a little broom? And I was like, like, yeah, maybe, probably, because in my head I'm thinking like, damn, like why, like if I buy a little broom for a little girl, it's almost like I'm reinforcing a gender stereotype, right?
Mhm. Yeah, like would you also like would you buy a broom for a little boy if they were
Right,
doing
and
the
I
same
would,
thing?
right?
And I would, and
And that was
same. Like if I had a kiddo, like yeah, absolutely, if that's what they're interested. But yeah, you feel like you're like, but at the same time, am I? Yeah,
am I reinforcing a negative gender stereotype, right? Like, am I about to make a decision just because she's a girl? Like, and that's because I'm like, just because she's a girl, I might not want to give her the broom because I don't want to reinforce, right? Like, and in my head, I'm like, yeah, we should get it because she sees me clean, she sees my wife clean, so she wants to do it, but it's too big for her. So I'm gonna get a little broom. And if I had a son, I would get a broom too because I'll make him clean his room just like I'd make any kid clean their room. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
But that was the conversation I had with my wife this morning, which is why I think you might be asking the wrong person, like because I overthink these types of things.
No, I'm asking the right person.
Well, sure. I'm saying that it's not a complicated conundrum for me because I've already thought about all this stuff. But yeah.
So before Liana was born,
Yeah.
I remember you specifically telling me, Everett, and maybe your brother, we were in the room,
I told my mother, everybody.
about certain toys not to buy your daughter.
I told y'all not to buy me anything. More specifically.
Yeah, more
I
specifically.
said I don't want nobody buying gifts for my kids, is what I said.
That's what you
And
guys,
then you said why.
and
So
then,
that now what you're saying is the response to the first statement. So just to be clear.
yeah. So then I told you why. So you don't want a kitchen set for your daughter? You said no. And I asked you why. And your response was because it's saying that this is girl toy, or at least your response was, oh, it's because it's saying that only girls do kitchen work and all this. And it's funny because you guys have a kitchen girl toy. So I'm trying to figure out, right? Why is it now okay for her to have that? Because she wants to play because she sees mommy doing it? And is that a gender toy because where she sees mommy doing, she wants to do it? Or is it just at the time you didn't want it? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, why did you get that toy if you didn't want it?
I'm gonna chime in real quick. I think personally, especially with your kids, I've heard this a lot. Like, and even when I was young growing up and I wanted to buy somebody else something, my mom was always like, you have to ask their parent if it's okay for you to get that thing for them because people want to raise their kids in certain ways. So I think, especially in that case, I think somebody may have asked him, "Hey, I would like to buy this for Liana," and that's what happened. They was like, "Okay, you can buy this for them." But I think personally,
My question is, he didn't want it for gender, a gender toy that's based for a child. Like the boys get the lawnmower, like how we were growing up. Boys would get the lawnmower or the wood shop table, and the girls would get the kitchen table. To me, I think that's kind of beast because guys can cook too, boys can cook too, and girls can also do lawn work or wood shop. So Pucho and Lisa's response was no, we don't want that because we don't want a kid to be like, oh, this is what girls do or anything like that. So he has that. So my question is, what's the change now? Or is it because someone got you the gift or did you guys get it? Like what changed?
So I don't think anything changed. I didn't say because again, just because I want to be like super clear. I said I don't want people buying my kid gifts because I don't want someone to just buy things like, oh, a bunch of Barbie dolls and a bunch of this and a bunch of that. Because again, like David said, I want to raise my kid a very specific way. I want to raise my kid the way that I think is the right way, and I don't need anybody's external influences. She's already going to go to school and be around people, and she's going to be around other people more than she's going to be around me. So I want to plant the right seeds now. That's my goal, right? So I never said that she can't cook or get a kitchen, right? My main concern is I don't ever want to buy my daughter a gift because she's a girl. Like I don't want that to be the primary, like unless we're talking, there's specific things, right? Like a bra, for example. Like there's women that may need bras. Like that's something that's specific for the most part to women. So that's something that I would have to do, or pads and tampons and birth control, things like that, right? Like those are some of the necessities of a woman, right? Beyond those things, I don't want to buy things that are specific to, like I'm buying it because she's a girl.
Yeah.
Because I think it can reinforce like gender stereotypes. That's it. Right. So like I was raised is that men do labor, women do the house labor.
Yep.
Right. So like cooking, cleaning, all that type of shit. And I don't want to raise my daughter that way. So if people start buying her a bunch of house shit, then I don't want my daughter to be raised that way. So I would prefer if people didn't purchase those things. So I got her a kitchen because I cook. She sees me cook, and we got her some cooking toys. Like she got like this little cutting board, and she'll grab like this potato that's like Velcro together. And she'll take the knife and cut it through the Velcro, and she has fun with that. So we got her a kitchen, and she plays with the kitchen. She sees me cooking, she wants to copy. She sees her mom cooking, she wants to copy. She comes with her little pot. She thinks she's cooking and shit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just don't ever want to raise her in such a way where she has a kitchen and my son has like a barbecue set. Yeah. Because I'm trying to be like, yo, because the men barbecue and the women stay in the kitchen. Like that's my main concern. And that's why I don't want people to buy my kids gifts. Because if I do have a son and someone does want to get my son, say, some cooking shit, they might buy him a barbecue set. Mm-hmm. And now I got a fucking barbecue set and I need to figure out how to make sure that this isn't like, oh, this isn't a boy's toy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to answer those types of questions. Like, I don't need that type of confusion from my kids.
It's the world that we live in now is so fucking so different, man. Like,
then
I think it's
race, bro. Like,
I think it's for the best. No, that's what I meant earlier.
It's definitely for the best because, like, you know, I got close friends. I got family members that are gay, and I even have a friend that I don't know the term, so I don't want to say it, but he is definitely, for them to come out and stuff back then in the days, it was like people, your own family, like, will hate you, and
it's still like that.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's still like that, but not as bad. Like now there's groups, there's society, there's communities that help each other, that support one another, which I think is good because, you know, like I've seen my cousin go through it, and, you know, like him telling his dad and all this, it was like a thing, you know. It was just like, and at the time, I was like, okay, he's gay, because, like, what's the fucking problem? Like, what's the real issue here? He's not a killer. He's not a rapist. He's
Like
not a
Pepe Le
racist.
Pew.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not a criminal. Like, well, like he likes what he likes. Back in the days, fucking Greek times, there was orgies, guys on guys, girls on girls, whatever, like swaps, all this shit. Like it was a norm back in the days. Like I don't know how it changed from then to there to here, you know what I mean? But
Christianity.
Yep.
actually, yeah.
but yeah. Basically what you're saying is
It's normal to me in my eyes. Like it's just people at first I was one of those who were like, oh, I don't care, just don't come at me. Like, you know what I mean? Like younger me, like all the gay guys want me. Like, no, that's not what it is, bro. Like there's a couple like what's also crazy is that gay guys are fucking hilarious. Like, bro,
Funny.
they're the most funniest motherfuckers I've probably met because like they'll say some shit and then you'll just instantly get it. And they'd be like, damn, that's funny. And you're like, I don't know.
So the funniest thing that I've ever heard, one of the funniest things I've ever heard. So my older brother is gay. And we were at some family function and we were, some extended family member was talking to me and my brother and was telling him like, oh yeah, Mijo, you're so young. Like, just make sure you don't have any kids yet and blah, blah, blah. Like, and my brother straight up looks at this old woman that's telling us this and tells her, no, don't worry, Thea. Butt babies don't survive, and walks off.
No, he was gay?
That's hilarious. That is so good.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That poor old lady was like, what the fuck just happened?
Jokes,
Yeah.
bro. They're awesome. They're funny.
Yeah, I frequent a bar up here in Harlem called At the Wallace in Harlem Public, and it's like a huge gay community that goes there. Some of the best people in there are gay that like treat me with so much compassion and treated me so good. One thing that I was never comfortable with way before was like getting flirted on and getting hit on by a gay guy, and I used to like be very against it and I was like repulsed by it. But now like that doesn't bother me. Like they'll know you're straight when you know what I mean. You say, oh, thanks, but no thanks, stuff like that. It's even a little flattering sometimes. It could be flattering.
Mhm.
I could be like, because some people are just charming. They're very charming people, and they're not bad people. And I've made very good gay friends this past year and a half, 2 years there. Like people that I could genuinely say are my friends, and they're gay. And I never could say that before. That I had like gay friends and stuff like that. So I really appreciate New York being so progressive. And I'm gonna be completely honest, it's a big gay island, and there's like tons of gay people from all
I
over.
don't know why that sounds funny.
It's,
You live on a gay island.
It's some shit that if you said it like when you were a teenager, it would be a straight up insult. But now it's like,
Right.
it's like, no, it's awesome. It's a big gay island.
yeah, there's a very big community of gay people over here, and some of the best people you'll ever meet.
It's funny too, because like when I talked to my cousin, he would tell me, like, he's gay, obviously. He would tell me, like, I just hate the extra flamboyant gay guys. I'm like, what do you mean, the ones that wear all those get-ups and stuff? And be like, and he did all these funny ass motions, and I'm just like, oh, so why do you hate him? He's like, it's just too much. There's no reason to be that much.
I've heard that. Well, I've heard that in a different way. That it is a caricature of a black gay person, and a lot of white men do try to encapsulate that vogue, that that it's like a type of character, and black people are like, yo, this is ours. This is how we act. You guys are basically kind of taking the sauce and kind of using it on your own way. So I've heard that as like before. But
I don't know.
So
I think just let people be however the fuck they want to be. As long as they're not harming you, why does anybody give a fuck?
So to bring it back around, Tony, are you properly educated on cancel culture now?
No, he's not. We need a part 2 of this one because he whipped out this New York Times BS. Like I would love to walk through this. And I'm a guy. I do not like cancel culture. Like and unlike Mateo, I believe it's real. I believe it exists. I think it happens for a reason, but I don't think it happens because things are offensive necessarily. Like but
the definition of it, it's not what I'm saying, but it is what it's happening. Like shit. Like I
think so. Again, right? I don't want to. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but it's not because something is offensive, right? It's like it's because you don't want people to learn that thing that is offensive is okay to do.
No, okay.
That's different than because it hurts somebody's feelings versus we don't want people walking around thinking this is normal. Those are two different things. And to just say that no, it's just because it's offensive is to be super. You're reducing it to like its most bare thing. The reason you're trying, not the reason that you're trying to do it, maybe the people that wrote the article, the reason they're trying to do it is because now that once you could say that, oh, it's just because it's offensive, then we could start equating it to all types of other things to call it ridiculous. Yep. So now I could just go, oh, your breath stinks. Oh, that's offensive. Oh, let's cancel him for saying that. Oh, your hair is ugly. Oh, that's offensive. Like that's what they want to do. This is called building a straw man. Mm-hmm. This is a straw man argument so that they could tear it down super easily. Like that is a weak ass argument that they're trying to build up. Nobody's making the argument that, oh, we could cancel people for hurting our feelings. Like that's not the truth. Like,
yep.
That's a caricature of the truth. Like, and I don't know. That's my main problem. And I hate centrists too. So I'm not trying to be one of these both sides have their merits. I am a center left dude. I lean that way for the most part. I'm not. I see the problems with cancel culture and shit like that. Like for example, right? Like the whole Aziz Ansari's thing. A lot of people jumped on that shit real quick before a lot of information came out about it, right? And maybe that's an example of people going, all right, maybe this isn't like, you know, they didn't like, you know, cancel him. But I was a little troubled by how readily everybody was willing to be like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I could see the issues with it, but I don't think it's as problematic as a lot of the conservatives want to make it seem.
Yeah. From the same people that are burning masks in garbage cans and burning jerseys because people are kneeling at football games. Like I take a lot of the crying about cancel culture with a grain of salt.
I mean, they killed police officers in the Capitol, so yeah, those people. And they stormed the Capitol building to try to overturn an election, right? Like,
shit is wild.
So
yeah.
So does Doughy have to do like an ending to the Doughy Sexy News show first, and then we do the one up ending, or how do we do this episode within an episode?
We're not doing that.
All right. When Doughy does his version of the Macarena, I think you got to wrap it up, Tom.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I want to see how long he just.
Oh,
he'll keep going, dude.
Wait, is he trying to create my vortex?
How great would that be if you just saw the entire desk fall into him at some
My cat
spinning.
My cat's right there.
I know you'd love it. You love animal destruction. So.
Oh, I love this shit getting destroyed because he's being a dick. But yeah, man. Thanks to all the listeners and the viewers watching and stuff, and you know, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We're gonna try to drop videos every Friday and throughout the week with sneak peeks and trailers, and you know, just you guys' support and liking all of our videos, it really helps us and makes us grind harder to get better at podcasting. Like it's not really, you know, comes overnight. Building of time, but we really appreciate you guys watching and taking your time out, and thank you for watching the One Up podcast. You guys have a good night. Peace.